for Scotland. Romajang stepping away. Stunning work from Bridger. What an individual score this is.
Talent aplenty has graced these great leagues, but now future stars are set to shine. Last season was the most thrilling to date, but now it's time for a new crop of talent to grace the field, and in this league, anything could happen. It's time to take your seat. The best leagues in the land are back.
With a BUCS Super Rugby try for the ages.
And then was a white line seeking missile.
Laura score! Tries towards the line. Sensational score from Romajang.
Wind into gear and drive to the line. And Cardiff are streaking across.
Welcome back, everybody. BUCS Super Rugby is back underway.
Hello, Noswatha, and welcome to King Coyd campus. You join us once again for Cardiff Met University, this time taking on Leeds Beckett University. They've made the trip down to Cardiff, and I'm delighted to say that this whole broadcast tonight is a collaboration between Cardiff Met University and Ball State University. So, joining me for this one, all the way from Indiana, is Charlie Mauer.
Yeah, thank you very much for the introduction, Matt. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, and I can say for all 16 students that are on this trip here to Cardiff Met and to the country of Wales, we are so thrilled to be here and to be here tonight for an exciting match. And just to tell you a little bit about our trip, we've seen almost everything, or at least it feels like everything. It's been a lot over this last about 10 days that the Ball State students from Muncie, Indiana have been here in the country of Wales. All saw the Gower Peninsula, obviously got to see the city centre in Cardiff, went down to Mumbles as well, got to experience the culture and obviously the sightseeing down there as well. But a big part of our trip is Transatlantic Storytelling 2024. We're telling 7 different feature stories while we're here in Cardiff, Wales, in collaboration with Cardiff Metropolitan University as well, to combine into one big feature documentary, which we'll be producing over the course of the next month or two. We're very excited for that product and very, very grateful for the opportunity from all the athletes and the students as well.
Oh, absolutely fantastic. And what's been your favourite thing since you've come to Cardiff?
You know, I have to say that the city of Cardiff is just fantastic. It's so compact. It feels like everything is right there for you, but also you got the suburban areas really close as well. So it still feels like a really, really tight family when it comes to the downtown area. But no, it has been really, really awesome and a fantastic experience. And if you're wondering about kind of what SportsLink is, Ball State SportsLink that is, let's take a look at this video all about the students back in Muncie, Indiana.
The national leader in sports media and production is in Ball State's College of Communication, Information, and Media. SportsLink is developing the next generation of creative storytellers and producers. The best stories in Ball State sports and live productions to ESPN platforms from day one. This is Ball State SportsLink.
Wow, some amazing stuff there all the way from Indiana. But let's get back to Cardiff and let's get back to the rugby. I'm delighted to say joining us now in studio is Cardiff Met Archers star, Joe Cowell. Joe, the big headlines for tonight are the amount of changes and the squad rotation. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on tonight for Cardiff Met?
Yeah, obviously we're really lucky to have a lot of really good boys playing in the top 2 teams for us. So in training we normally look around about 45, 50, 60 boys training, so all in that high performance group. So giving boys chances, opportunities. They've been playing really good rugby this year, so it gives them a great opportunity now to showcase their talent on one of the biggest stages. And obviously we partner BUCS Rugby with the Welsh Championship as well, and at the moment we're currently sitting top of the league, but again we want to try and keep the pressure on Bargoed and usher Rhondda in the top 3 to hopefully secure that promotion for next year.
And being a prop yourself, Joe, what are some of the advice that you have given to your replacements for tonight's match?
You obviously just enjoy it. I think Leeds Beckett are a pretty heavy pack, so it's a great experience for them to sort of get used to that, the pace and the physicality of BUCS Super Rugby. And I've been trying to help as much as I can in the week, and there's a lot of other boys involved in the team as well that hopefully pass on their experience as well.
Yeah, fantastic. And obviously you say big squad, you train a lot with them as well. Train a lot with all the boys as well. So we hear the Cardiff Met Ultras in the background making some noise. Hopefully the viewers at home can hear us. Is there anyone in particular you think we should be looking out for across the pitch?
Yeah, obviously we've got boys like you and Guy, the captain this evening, who's obviously got a lot of experience. Connor Chapman, the hooker, winning his 50th appearance for the club tonight as well, so congratulations, Chappie. There's a lot of other boys. Gus has obviously had his fair share of first team games. Alex Terry, Vikas Meyer, Vikas coming away from the Netherlands game on a weekend, coming back into play this evening. And you've got other boys then like Johan Duggan, Carwyn Edwards, who are top quality players who should hopefully bring a good impact to tonight's game.
Yeah, and really quick, just your overall keys to the match for tonight. What do your boys need to do to get a victory on their home field?
Just convert, I think. Obviously, there's been a couple of games this year where we've been in the game at half time, but some of the chances have got a slip in the first half. So I think if we can stay consistent and sort of capitalise on those efforts and stuff like that, I think we should be in the game. And obviously playing in front of a pretty good crowd tonight as well. Hopefully, could be that 16th man for us. So we're looking to try and get a big win tonight.
Yeah, and you touched on the weekend team, the champ team as well. How good is it to be able to have such a big squad that you can fight on two fronts?
Yeah, it's massive. I think it gives a group of really good boys a chance to play week in, week out. I think obviously there's a bit of a difference between the physicality and the pace between BUCS and champ, but an opportunity is an opportunity, and I think a lot of these boys have taken that in the past weeks, and I think boys in the BUCS are really looking forward to playing in the champ over the next couple of weeks as well.
Last question I have for you. Being an American and someone who is new to the sport of rugby, for anyone watching home from America who maybe doesn't know about the sport, what are some things that they should be looking out for in tonight's match specifically that maybe will interest them long-term in the sport of rugby?
Well, there'll be a lot of fast-paced rugby. I think a lot of good skills will be on set as well. We pride ourselves on playing like a wide range of rugby as well, going through the forwards, playing outside in the backs as well. So a different range of multiple skills, and I think it's just a really exciting evening to play a game of rugby.
Fantastic. And then just before we let you go, give us a score prediction for tonight. Cardiff Met, Leeds Beckett.
I think it'll be 28-17 Cardiff Met.
Perfect. Thanks so much for joining us, Joe Cal. Have a good rest of your evening.
That'll do for our coverage here down on the field. We'll see you at halftime. We're going to kick it back now up to our lead commentators, Steph and Spence. Spence, take it away.
Yeah, welcome to Rugby 1 and welcome to another week of BUCS Super Rugby at King Coyd. Tonight it's Cardiff Met as they take on Leeds Beckett, as I said, at Rugby 1. And joining me once again is Spencer O'Connor. Spencer, welcome. Are you ready for this game?
Yeah, pleasure to be on comms once again with yourself, Steph. I am really excited for this game tonight. I think we're in for a really exciting game. It's going to be different. Both teams sort of solidified their positions now in the league. Cardiff Met sitting in 6th at the minute, and obviously Leeds Beckett sitting in 7th. It's a chance for Cardiff Met to get into 5th position. Obviously they can't get that quarter-final at home anymore, but they're giving new boys a run out tonight, so it's exciting to see how them boys will fare.
It is, and you're joining me now, Spence, but in a bit we'll have some of the boys from Ball State join us. We'll have Dom and Charlie. They'll be checking in with us every once in a while, and they'll be getting their first taste of BUCS Super Rugby action at King Coyd. How exciting and how probably different is this to some of, I guess, the college culture you'll see in America?
Yeah, I think it's a great experience for them, to be honest. I'd love to go to America myself, but hey, they're saying they love Wales, so each to their own. But I think they're going to be blessed, to come to King Coyd and watch rugby at university level, which in my opinion is one of the best that we have in the UK before professional. So I think they're going to really enjoy it, and it's going to be exciting to have them on comms as well, just to, for the audience at home to maybe get a perception from people overseas. Obviously, we watch rugby week in, week out. These guys never really seen the game, so it's a great opportunity for them and for us as well to enjoy this experience together.
Yeah, plenty to look forward to, and let's take maybe a little look now at the starting lineups for each team and see what's to come tonight here at King Coyd campus. At 1, Liam Newstead. Number 2, Connor Chapman. 3, Tom Pritchard. 4, Barnaby Waddell, one of those we've seen already. 5, Charlie Bedford. 6, Max Brown. 7 is that man, that captain, Ewan Guy. 8, Will Owen, and then we get to some of the changes that we see. 5 changes in the backline, 5 debuts in the backline. One of those, Carwyn Edwards, who is contracted with Sale Sharks. 10 is Tom Howlett, another one of those that come in for the first time. 11, we have Tom Weekly, who has appeared 8 times in the championship, scoring twice. 12, we know that man, Gus Patterson. 13, Jacob Wilmot. 14 is Henry Kerwin, and 15 Sam Trod finishes the starting lineup for the home team for the Archers. And then on the bench we have Tom McLean, Harry Silman, Alex Wakefield, Ollie Smith, Josh Hart, Alex Terry, Vickers Meyer, who we have seen already this year, the Dutchman, and 23 Johan Duggan, and they'll be coached as always by Dr. Ian Gardner. Well, that's the Cardiff Met lineup. Let's take a look at the visitors, who will be looking to challenge them and once again finish the season strongly in the BUCS Super Rugby calendar. At 1 for Leeds Beckett, we have Connor Hancock. 2 Madison Hunting. 3 Charlie Keith. 4 Tom Mills. 5 Aaron Suggett. 6 Max AP. 8 Ollie Malarsi. 7 Louis Kirkham. 9 Toby Morley. 10 Jonty Lee. His father was in New Zealand and All Black, and he now coaches out in San Diego, where Brandon Harvey, our very own Brandon Harvey, will be playing his rugby when he leaves Cardiff Met. 11 Archie Callahan. 12 Dan Reid. 13 Matt Salisbury. 14 Jody Devine, and 15 Josh Sanchez. And plenty of subs to come off the bench and make a difference, including the brother of Connor Hancock, who's starting at 1 today. Hancock is also on the bench. We'll be looking perhaps at a front row partnership there. And once again, they'll be coached by Kerry Wood, a man who we had a lovely conversation with pre-game, didn't we, Spence? He had plenty to tell us.
Yeah, a great bloke from what we have seen of him so far, and I'm sure that this is going to be a great Leeds Beckett side tonight as well, to go hand in hand with their coach. Just looking at those team sheets there, Steph, it's an exciting night. It's a chance for Cardiff Met players to put their hands up here for selection going into these championship games, where they're aiming to win the league, and then also as they go into the quarter-final. It's a huge opportunity here for the boys of Cardiff Met, who don't sometimes get a chance at this level to put their hands up and say, look, guards, I deserve a place. So it's exciting tonight, and I just looking at that team, and I think Carwyn Edwards at 9, you mentioned there in the team selection there, say in the sale setup, one opportunity for this guy and one opportunity for us and the Ultras to get to see what he's all about.
Exactly, and you mentioned that it's a big opportunity for them. It's a lot of pressure as well. What do you think the difference is for them stepping up? A lot of these not even had championship action on the weekend, and we've spoken so much this season about it being one squad, one team, and anyone can play at any time. This is their chance to prove a point, isn't it? Yeah,
look, I think pressure is obviously going to be big for these boys tonight, but it's whether or not they can deal with it, and that's why they've been thrown in tonight. The coaches know that if they're going to go forward with a squad that is playing tonight, if these boys are going to get a chance in the quarter-final in these big games, then they need to step up tonight. And the ones who will step up, I'm sure we will see involved in further games. But look, hey, let's not dispute that these boys are very good players. They're around the squad week in, week out. They're always in and around that phase 1 environment. So, they've got talent, they've put the hard work in, and they deserve to be here tonight. We need to give these boys credit for getting themselves in this position.
Yeah, and perhaps not that much to play for at the end of this league season now. Obviously, they'll be looking forward to the playoffs, the next round of the BUCS Super Rugby calendar. They could mathematically still get 4th. Obviously, they'll have to look at Loughborough and Bath's results for that to happen. But how great is it to see the Ultras out there tonight, especially for the boys coming in, their first taste of this kind of atmosphere. How great of an occasion is it again, and on the last home game in this fixtures, as so to speak.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I was walking down here earlier, and I just seen loads of Hulk Hogan's. But yeah, it's wrestling night apparently is the theme for the Ultras tonight, and again, it's a chance for these boys, to play in front of a great crowd that we have quite often here at Rugby 1.
No, 100%, and perhaps before we do get started, maybe we'll have a little word from one of our Ball State friends. Dom is going to join me here now, and he's had his first taste of the Cardiff Met, the BUCS Wednesday atmosphere. Well, welcome to King Coyd. Welcome to Rugby 1. Yeah, well, what do you make of the atmosphere? What do you make of the occasion? And what do you make of watching this game of rugby? Because it's not something you've watched a whole lot of, is it?
No, not a ton of, obviously. Thanks for having me, first of all. This is an awesome experience. Just the atmosphere. Even before the match, without the teams on the pitch, right? You already see the student section. At least that's what we call it back in the States. I don't know, what do you guys call it? Still the student section?
Well, these are the Ultras.
The Ultras. These are the boys are going nuts, huh?
Yeah, they are. And if you can't quite see them, you'll definitely hear them.
Oh no, I've already heard them, man. It's been, this has been incredible. This is so different from the States, right? I mean, obviously we have our student sections, but I mean, you guys are going nuts even before the teams are introduced on the pitch. But I'm super excited for tonight. My first rugby ones match on Super BUCS Wednesday, right? Like this is unbelievable, and I mean, I'm just looking forward to how physical this game is. And the last matchup between these two, just 1 point separated both of these teams, right? So you're in for a good one. Cardiff Met, after that heartbreaking loss last time out, is gonna come out with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, right? So I'm just incredibly grateful to be on here and incredibly excited for this as well.
Yeah, and we spoke a little bit about the occasion. Let's talk a little bit of rugby now before we hand back to Spence just to get the kick off. What are you looking forward to seeing about the rugby, and what can you kind of correlate rugby to in terms of a sport, compare it to something maybe over in the States?
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot like American football, right? But it's like a mix of soccer as well. You've got that continuous clock running, and I think that's the thing that maybe I'm not going to be used to with how physical of a game it's going to be, and you don't get like the first down or the second down, right? It's just continuous play. I'm excited to see the scrums, the lineouts, right? I'm excited to see how those go, and just all the different aspects. But I'm excited to see how much heart these guys play with, because rugby is not only just a gentleman's game as well, a lot of respect, but there's a lot of guts. It takes a lot of guts to get out on this pitch without pads and to do what these lads do. It's incredible.
Well, thank you. You've definitely got the lingo down to a T.
I said lad, right? That's okay.
And we'll speak to you a little later on as
Appreciate
well. But
you.
Thanks for joining me pre-game.
Absolutely.
But no, Spence will join me once more now as we await the arrival of the Cardiff Met boys. Leeds Beckett have made their way onto the pitch, and we'll be expecting a big roar now when Cardiff Met turn up, won't we, Spence?
Yeah, 100%. And they're already starting as they normally do. And here they come now, the Cardiff Met boys. It's been a while since I've seen them here since that Bath game, and I'm excited for this.
It's been a while since me and you've been up here, Spence, and I've missed you. I can tell you that, my friend. But no, there's nothing better than a BUCS Super Rugby Wednesday as Cardiff Met now tread onto the pitch, and they'll be looking for a fast start. The inexperienced boys at this level perhaps will be looking for a bright start. What's important tonight now, making your debut on this big stage? What will you want to do? Is it getting the basics right?
Yeah, 100%. That's where it starts. Danny Milton, I went to the team meeting on Monday, he was saying how these boys have an opportunity, but they also need to make sure that they do the basics right, and they just play a game of rugby at the end of the day. That's all that we have in our hands here. Game of rugby, Cardiff Met against Leeds Beckett, and just get the basics right, and then the fancy stuff comes after that.
Yeah, Tom Howlett on standby to get us kicked off on this Wednesday here at Rugby 1. Cardiff Met, Leeds Beckett, and Cardiff Met retrieve the kick-off through Henny Kerwin. Cadwyn Edwards, the 9, gets his first touch of the game. He'll be looking to make an impact, and we'll be expecting him to make an impact, in truth. Met keep it tight, and Charlie Bedford gets to stretch his long legs for the first time in this one.
Yeah, I think it's a big night for Bedford. The second row we've seen dominated by the likes of Brandon Harvey all year, so it's a big night for him to step up.
And Tom Howlett, the fly half for the night, dictating the tempo, and something that we've seen plenty of from the 10s of Cardiff Met this year. He'll be looking to do exactly the same and bring his forwards in, but also use those very dangerous backs, those archers' backs.
Yeah, so it's a big night for Tom Howlett. I've heard lots of things about this Tom Howlett. Used to go to Millfield, so to be a graduate of that place, you definitely got something special about you. And I've heard good things about him in the Championship. So yeah, it's a big night for him to put a hand up here, because the 10 position at Cardiff Met, as we know, is always up for grabs. And there's a lot of talent in that position, as we've seen with the likes of Vickers Mayer, Ross McKay. The list is endless for that 10 shirt, so a massive night for Tom Howlett.
Yeah, and he'll be up against the Leeds Beckett 10, Jonty Lee, whose father, Danny Lee, was an All Black, so a man of great pedigree, so I'll be expecting something from him tonight as well, and both 10s will be looking to have their stamp on the game and dictate play in this, lovely conditions of Rugby 1. Leeds Beckett get their first chance at a set piece, and Madison Hunting mix, no mistake, in front of the boisterous Cardiff Met crowd. Toby Morley will choose to go into the sky. Oh, but it's taken beautifully.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be massive tonight, making sure that the backfield is looked after for Cardiff Met. Leeds Beckett, we know, are physical, but they've also got quite a good kicking game where they look to kick long. So it's going to be vital for Cardiff Met to look after that ball in the backfield. And a massive hit there.
And a crunching tackle in midfield as Carwyn Edwards kicks once more, looking for the corner, and he does find the 5 metre line. He won't mind that at all, will he, Spence?
No, hey, look, that's how Sale Sharks play, eh? Fast box kick, they love that. So maybe a little bit of that coming into play here, but good start for Cardiff Met, if you ask me.
Sale Sharks haven't got a bad 9, have they?
No, not bad at all.
Yeah, but a pressure line out here now for Leeds Beckett and Madison Hunting. He'll just be looking to find a man, if not his man. And he does. He makes no mistake as he finds Aaron Suggett. And a nudge on from Leeds Beckett, and I'm sure Toby Morley will be looking to find Rosed and relieve some pressure. Tom Weekly is the one who gathers once more, and who beats one defender once more before he stopped in midfield.
Yeah.
Charlie Bedford crossing once more, crossing the gain line.
Yeah, and I think this is a big part of the game tonight, for Cardiff Met. When new people come into the team, they can tend to be a little bit overexcited and want to try things a bit too much, but it's about keeping that composure and playing in the right areas and then getting in the corner, as they may do here.
Gus Patterson with a monster missed pass, almost put in Tom Weekly into the corner, but Leeds Beckett recover well. But there's still pressure as Cardiff get into the red zone. Carwyn Edwards just dictating the forwards now.
Yeah, and I'm just seeing Henry Kerwin in bags of space out to the right.
Tom Howlett thought he saw a gap there, but the referee says the gap was made illegally through crossing. But Cardiff Met will get a penalty in a nice position to find the post, maybe, Spence?
Yeah, I think that's a really strong start from Cardiff Met. First 5 minutes of every game is vital. And I think they've put themselves in a really good place here. Get 3 points, settle into this game, get Tom Howlett to get 3 points in his laces. I think a very good start from Cardiff Met. But as I say there, Henry Kerwin's in loads of room on this right-hand side, wasn't marked at all. So maybe that's somewhere they'll look to exploit later on.
Yeah, definitely. And perhaps while we have a little break, we might talk once more to another one of our Ball State friends. And this time, it's not Dom, no, it's Charlie. Well, talk us through the first 5 minutes. What have you made of the occasion so far?
Well, I will say this. Thank you very much for letting me be here. It's an absolute pleasure, as mentioned in the pre-game show, the pre-match show, that is. But, I mean, listen, you talked to Dom earlier about kind of the comparisons between rugby and American football. I'm not the expert on rugby. I will look to go in, though.
So that's 3-0 now.
Yeah, Cardiff Met, first one to strike.
Yeah, so a good start and a great atmosphere. What do you make of the atmosphere from the Ultras?
It is fantastic. And, earlier in the week we were able to go to a Cardiff Devils game as well in the local downtown area. And just the passion that the Welsh people have for their teams when it comes to any sport. You talk about mostly football and rugby, but even ice hockey, a team that they're not necessarily most known for. No, they got the flags, they got the drums, they got the microphones and the chants going in the crowd. It's an electric atmosphere, and this is nothing different. The fans out and about here at Cardiff, on the pitch, that is. And so far, so good for the Archers, an early 3-0 lead.
It is, and thank you for joining me now. You'll join me again in a minute, but I hope you enjoy the rest of this game. Yeah, and Jonty Lee got us restarted once more at Rugby 1, and Leeds Beckett go up the other end and say thank you very much, we'll have a penalty of our own. And a decision you have to make now, Spence. Is it a corner job or will it be looking for the post?
Yeah, well, I think they're going to go for the corner, and I'm actually really impressed with that because it shows that Beckett have come to Cardiff, 4-hour journey. They're not scared to compete, and maybe they're looking at Cardiff Met here and they're going, we back ourselves against an inexperienced pack here to get ourselves over the line. So yeah, an exciting opportunity for Leeds Beckett, and I think they get this line out right, and they've got a good platform here to go off.
Yeah, Madison Hunting again making no mistake. And the maul's come down, but the maul was brought down legally, says the man in the middle, the man in green.
Yeah, good setup there from Cardiff Met in defence.
Yeah, as Leeds now look to stay tight. The pack doing some dirty work. Aaron Suggett, the man who's going to try his luck at beating that wall of archers. Oh, and they go through again, and it's Madison Hunting who
Yeah, I think he's held up, but
is held up. So great defence from Cardiff Met there. But Leeds Beckett showing that pack can dominate and they can find some spaces.
yeah, look, I think you know, I just said before that set piece, you know, about how they're backing themselves, and they did. Unfortunately, it didn't come off that time for Leeds Beckett, but we were speaking to the head coach earlier, and he was saying about how their set piece is so important to the way they play. So obviously, you know, we see there a little glimpse of it.
Yeah, Leeds Beckett to be looking to come straight back up once more, as there's a bit of a juggle in midfield before Louis Kirchham is brought down in the centre of the park. Keeping it tight through Charlie Keith now once more. Toby Morley, the Leeds Beckett 9, it's his turn now to try and dictate play, and he finds Dan Reid, who started last week, but he started at 10, moves into inside centre this week. And a big run by Tom Mills.
It's a great turnover. Sidelines.
Yeah, Met maybe just a little too eager to try and crunch the 9 there. And Leeds will have another chance now to put themselves in a good position in the Archers 22.
Yeah, but look, if I'm Danny Milton or Ian Gardner, I'm not annoyed at giving away that penalty. It shows a little bit of want and a little bit of desire from these boys. You know, the back row putting their hands over, trying to get a penalty. Yeah, maybe a bit of lack of discipline there with the offside, but you know, it's what you want to see from your team in the first 10 minutes. You don't want them shying off and standing off from things. Obviously, another opportunity here now for Beckett, and they've decided to take the post this time. So, it'll be interesting to see where they convert there, and then yeah, maybe with 3-3.
Yeah, well, we were watching Josh Sanchez in the warm-up, and he had an arrow of a kick, didn't he? He was hitting it more times than not, I'll tell you that, and he gets a chance now to level the game with about 10 minutes gone on the clock here at Rugby 1. He's certainly got the distance, I'll tell you that. And he's got the accuracy as well.
Yeah.
That came off like a rocket, that did, Spence.
That is a great kick. If you ask me, he's got 60 metres in the bag, right? But when we were speaking to Kerry Wood earlier, he was telling me how exciting Josh Sanchez is, and he really wanted me to pick up, you know, this number 15. He said, make sure you keep an eye out for him because he is sharp. He's only a second year as well at Leeds Beckett, so he's got a lot of life in him yet to come. And he was saying about his kicking off the tee, you know, he's exceptional, and well, we've seen that year already, so it's going to be exciting to see how he continues in this game.
It's always exciting at Rugby 1, Spence, isn't it? But Leeds Beckett in another penalty from kick-off. Something Cardiff Met will be looking to cut out of their game at the minute, is giving away these silly penalties.
Yeah, look, and you know, I said just now about giving that one away, right? It's not bad, and I wouldn't be annoyed as a coach, but if they continue, then that's where you look at the experienced players like Ewan Guy then to step up and just, you know, have a word with everyone, because this is what can happen when you play a new side and bring in so many changes. That lack of discipline can come in.
Yeah, and we look at the infringement there. I'm not quite sure what that was for, Spence, but I'll trust the man in green, I'll trust the man in middle.
Yeah.
I think it might have been taking the man in the air, but nevertheless, Leeds Beckett do have the possession now, just outside the Archers 22. And Madison Hunting is finding his man each time, but they couldn't in midfield as Cardiff Met might look to counter-attack here. Gus Patterson stretches those legs for the first time. He's beaten 3, but he's brought down just outside the 22. Cameron Edwards looking to go quick.
That's advantage here for
Let
Cardiff
it go
Met.
wide now. Tom Weekly on the wing goes back inside, and Sam Trod brought down. In the end, he's brought down just outside the 5-metre line. Cameron Edwards chooses to go short this time through his forwards. The tempo is definitely there for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, look, again, I'm looking out. Oh, it's turned over, unfortunately, by Beckett. But I was looking outside there, Henry Curran in bags of space. If they can exploit this right wing, I think Cardiff Met are in for a chance.
Jan. Beckett get a chance to clear the lines again. Through a Cardiff Met mistake, but they go wide before deciding
kick
to clear their lines through Dan Reid. Samtrod finds touch, but he doesn't find a lot of distance, and Leeds Beckett find themselves now within the 22 metres of Cardiff Met's try line.
Yeah, an absolutely great kick there. That's exactly what you want, from your players when you're playing against a side like Cardiff Met. You want to win the kicking game, and so far they're doing that for me. Cardiff Met with a really good opportunity down there then, as we see with Gus Patterson here, carrying that ball, doing what he does best. But unfortunately, just a bit of scrappiness. They got the advantage there, but yeah, good turnover from Beckett, and well, they're in with a good chance here. Yeah. And this is that set piece that I was talking about earlier. Let's see if they can convert it.
Yeah, Madison Hunting certainly been having some practice this week. His eyes look to go inside there. Thought they'd found Jody Devine a little bit of space to attack, but he's brought down. And then they keep it tight to their forwards now. Louis Kirchham having a go, but he's brought down before the gain line. The forwards keep coming round. Charlie Keith this time, he's nudged back. Cardiff Met defence is standing strong so far, but there's still more to come. Tom Mills has a go, and he breaks the gain line and puts Leeds Beckett to within 5, but a brilliant turnover for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, and his captain, fantastic, as I like to call him. One guy, I think, with the turnover. Massive turnover there for Cardiff Met. And these are the opportunities now that I'm saying about these experienced boys within the squad. Ewan Guy, one of them experienced players in the squad, putting his hand up and saying, look boys, let's work a bit harder.
Yeah, as Met now push themselves just shy of the halfway line. And a chance for Connor Chapman to have a go at the line now.
Yeah, and Connor Chapman tonight on his 50th cap for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, like a bullet, he finds Barnaby Waddle. And Chapman's keeping it in tight to the back. Conor Edwards looks for a cheeky box kick over the top, and that'll be chased by Henry Kerwin. And a bit of a rushed exit from Leeds Beckett, and now Cardiff Met have a chance to nudge them back into the danger zone.
Yeah, look, I really like that there from Carwin Edwards. I just think he's aware of the space that's around him. He's not scared to put a box kick into that space. We've seen earlier over on the left flank, and we've seen it now on the right wing. That's going to be a big part of tonight's game, whether he can continue to exploit that space.
Yeah, Barnaby Waddle there doing well to collect that ball, but the referee accidentally gets in the way. We'll let him off there. He apologised nicely.
Yeah.
But it will be a big game for Karen Edwards today, and Cardiff Met haven't got a bad number 9 usually in Rory Morgan. He's been lightning this so far this year. Very exciting 9. So big boots to fill really in a way for young Karen Edwards tonight. Yeah,
I talked about the 10 position earlier at Cardiff Met. The 9 position is very similar. The list goes on for the talent in that position. We look at obviously Rory Morgan, then you've also got Zach Roberts, who's put his hand up many a time for selection this season. So to have the likes of a Carwin Edwards, who's roaming around the championship, and just to bring in, it's special really, and that's what Cardiff Met and BUCS Super Rugby teams have in their locker. It's not just one team, it's a full effort from the full university sides.
Yeah, Cardiff Met break the gain line again. Max Brown breaks the gain line once more for Met, and it's a bit of a wayward pass from the man we've been waxing a bit of lyrical about, Karen Edwards.
Yeah, look, commentators curse as they say it, but hopefully you'll prove us wrong. But yeah, as we just take a look here at this replay, a great carry there in the midfield from, I think, the shirtless Jacob Wilmot.
Yeah. Jinx.
But yeah, great carry there, and hopefully, them archers can continue singing, and we see A few more great carries like that from the number 13.
Yeah, and a chance for Madison Hunting, who's been perfect from the line out so far this time. Well, this is the pressure one for him, right in front of the Archers Ultras. Oh, and the magic of the Ultras comes to fruition, and Cardiff Met will have a chance now to counter-attack in midfield.
Yeah, an Ewan guy like a leaping salmon, but there.
Cameron Edwards slowing it down a bit, and Tom Pritchard with a bit of a wayward pass, but it's been gathered nicely, and
here he is, Henry Kerwin. Use the space.
Here he goes, he beats one, he beats two, he beats another one, but he's brought down just inside the 22. Cameron Edwards not quite able to collect the ball, but nevertheless he gets a second chance at it. And Charlie Bedford now will be the man to take it upon himself. He's brought down. Tom Howler with a missed pass, as Met might look to go wide now. Oh, and the pass from Howlett just a bit too strong, and now Leeds Beckett will look to counter-attack the other way.
Oh.
And Leeds Beckett thought they were in. I thought they were in. Jody Devine thought he was in, but the referee has seen a forward pass. So Cardiff Met will gain possession again, just outside the Leeds Beckett 22.
Look, it's dry at Kincoid, and eventually we've got some lovely running rugby to enjoy. Cardiff Met throwing everything out there. Look at that from Henry Kerwin there. I heard pre-game that he was special. We've seen a bit of him this year, and he's got some dancing feet, and we've seen that in play there. But got to give it to Leeds Beckett. Didn't back away from the contest there, and we've seen some pace out wide. Just a forward pass, but I think they would have been in for a try under the sticks there. But look, exciting stuff.
It is, and I haven't seen you move that quick in a while, Spencer. When Henry Kerwin had the ball, you were stepping with him as he was running down the pitch. But no, a very exciting start to this game, and perhaps while we've got a little stoppage in play, we'll get one of the Ball State boys in to have a bit of analysis of what they've seen and what they've made so far of the opening 20 minutes of this BUCS Super Rugby fixture. Dom, you join me again.
Yes, sir.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, just the energy. Again, we mentioned the atmosphere of the fans, the ultras, right? They're getting into it. The boys on the field, or the pitch, I should say. Holy cow. Just the respect for the game that they have, but also just the passion, the energy, everything I've been very, very impressed with. And I mean, heck, this has been a very back and forth game. It's not like one team has controlled the ball in the offensive zone for like an extended period of time, right? It's been it has not been lopsided. It's been very back and forth, chippy at points too, and it's been fun.
I couldn't have said it better myself. But before we get the scrum, you've seen the Archers faithful in full voice. Are you going to be over there joining them in a bit?
Maybe. Who knows? If they keep doing what they're doing, I wouldn't mind that, right?
By the end of the night, I think it'd be a fully fledged Archers faithful,
absolutely.
I think.
No doubt about it. Absolutely.
Well, we'll catch up with you again just before half-time, and Spencer joined me again now to talk about this set piece of Leeds Beckett in their own 22 once more, under a little bit of pressure to try and get out of trouble once more.
Yeah, I just want to say, as I was stood back there, I didn't hear your full conversation, but I heard end zone. Hope he's not talking about NFL. This is rugby.
Well, it's clear to see the Ball State crew, and we're very glad to have them over here in Wales and at Cardiff Met this week, and I think they're certainly enjoying this BUCS Super Rugby Wednesday, Spence.
Yeah, 100%. It's great to have them on board.
It's the best league in the world, Spence, and I love being here every Wednesday.
Bold statement, Steph, bold statement, but not far off at all, I don't think.
Well, we'll rejoin the action now, and Ollie Malassi there picking up from the base of the scrum, getting over the gain line, and his back row partner Louis Kircham has a go himself, and I think Toby Morley now has seen enough, and he'll be looking to relieve some pressure. No. They go wide in a big old kick from Leeds Beckett. Good run in again in midfield from Jacob Wilmot. He's been strong so far to clear up some mess in the centre of midfield for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, definitely, and I think the field boys are doing that. It doesn't look like a really well structured team so far, but it looks like everyone's willing to, and it's just fell to Henry Kerwin there. But yeah, I think off the back of what we've just seen there, for instance, it's maybe the structures and what we're used to seeing with the Cardiff Met side, but everyone is out there and willing to play. Like looking at Sam Trod at fullback, I think he's putting his hand up here. He's looking good. So yeah, it just looks like a Cardiff Met side with a little bit of inexperience, but everyone's wanting to be out there tonight, definitely.
Yeah, Cardiff Met clearing the line again, and he's hit his own man for the 22. And an accidental offside, says the referee. And Met once more will get a chance at a set piece. And I'll tell you what, Spencer, looking out there now, and I saw him carry the ball just now. But Liam Newstead, he's a big old boy, isn't he?
Yeah, very big boy. And I was about to mention him, to be honest, because he's been carrying everywhere around the field tonight, if you ask me. And when you are a big boy like that, sometimes it can go unused. Sometimes these big boys are there just to scrummage, but I'm not seeing that. He's an active prop, he's a fit prop. But yeah, he's a big boy and he's willing to use that. A lot of strength in him for sure. So yeah, Liam Newstead, in all fairness, deserves a little bit of a shout out, I think, because sometimes these props can go unheard of, but so far doing everything right.
Then it'll be a reset of the scrum. The first time really we've had trouble in the scrum so far tonight, which is nice to see because you don't often see that in the professional game anymore. But it's been a relatively free-flowing start to this game, and I'm sure that Tom Howlett at 10 will be looking for some trickery up his sleeve now to get Cardiff Met beyond that gain line.
Yeah, and I think in conditions like this, a nice dry night, you don't want to be in the scrums all night. Fair enough, if it's hammering down with rain, you can expect scrums all night and maybe some sloppy scrums, with the mud on the bottom of the boots. But in a day like today, there's no excuse really to have loads of scrums, and it is a strength of Leeds Beckett is their scrummaging. So if Cardiff Met can nullify that, like they've done here, the quick ball out, and it's lovely stuff. But yeah, if they can continue to play like this tonight and not allow Leeds Beckett in with the scrums, they'll be okay.
Howlett changes direction and he looks out wide to Henry Kerwin, who's beat the one, and is he in? He's in the corner. A brilliant play. You've been waxing lyrical about him, Spence, and Henry Kerwin has found the corner for Cardiff Met for the first try of this game.
Yeah, look, there's nothing better than when you hype someone up and they live up to that hype. But he's been electric for the first 15 minutes tonight, and he's shown us even more of what he can do as we take a look at this. But a lovely pass first from Howlett in the midfield, sees that space that I've been talking about all night out on the right hand wing, and then some lovely dancing feet from Henry Kerwin. So that blue scrum cap, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of tonight, and maybe even into them quarterfinals.
Yeah, Henry Kerwin just two-stepping his way into the corner there for Cardiff Met, and he's definitely started the party for the Archers Ultras on the opposite side of us here. And now a big old kick for Tom Howlett to convert here, but I'm sure Cardiff Met will be happy to be up at this point in the game with only about 15 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, look, I said about that structure, and in games like this, that's what it's about. It's about converting them chances where you bring in your players of his stature, and they've done that so far. It's 15 minutes in, they're 8-3 up, potentially 10-3 up. Good start for Cardiff Met, and I'm sure both guards and Danny Milton will be very happy over there. And I'm sure if this goes over the post, we'll hear a big old roar from all them Elk Organ fans.
Not quite from Tom Howlett, but Cardiff Met won't mind. They're up 8 points to 3 with 15 minutes left of this first half at Rugby 1.
Yeah, look, I can't say nothing about kicking anymore. I took a go at Archer's attempts on Tuesday, which will be posted soon on social media, and I used to be quite a good kicker back in my day, but not anymore.
Alright, Spence, I think you tell us every week you used to be a decent little player, but I've never seen any examples of it. Jonty Lee will get us restarted. He only found the try scorer there, Henry Kerwin, who sets up his pack to do the dirty work, and Carwyn Edwards sends it high and long. And a great chase from who else but the try scorer, Henry Kerwin there.
Yeah, but I think also a very good pick up there from Ollie Malarkey for Beckett. A lot of pressure there for number 8, and we see him more and more in the game these days. The number 8 step in to take that high ball. Did a really good job there, I think, to give a good platform here for Toby Morley.
Well recovered there from Tom Howlett for Cardiff Met, just trying to clear up some of the rubbish. Cameron Edwards looked to go wide then. Cardiff Met just about secure this ball as Connor Chapman took it upon himself to gain a few extra yards. And now the captain, Ewan Guy, he always finds some extra yards, it seems. Howlett out the back to Gus Patterson. Gus Patterson over the top. And that's beautiful. And Sam Trott almost found Tom Weekly there. But it will be a Cardiff Met ball.
Yeah, great stuff. You know, we've seen some big carries this season from Gus the Bus, but he's got something new in his locker we've seen there. Nice little dink cross field. As we take a look now at the replay of this, some lovely hands there from Howlett, you know, just drawing the defence, and then Patterson with the eyes out to the left. Just unfortunately doesn't come off for him, but hey, that's what we like to see. In conditions like tonight, you've got to try stuff, you know, you've got to express yourselves, and these boys are definitely doing that so far.
Yeah, you've got to give Jody Devine, the 14 for Leeds Beckett, a lot of praise there. He got back into position and recovered well when it looked like for all the world that Cardiff Met were going to finish a champagne rugby try.
Yeah, some try-saving stuff really there from Jody Devine. It says in his last name really, Devine, and I'm excited to see, you know, a bit more of it tonight.
Yeah, Cardiff Met just about to secure the ball at the line. The ball slowed down slightly for Cameron Edwards. He finds his 10 partner Tom Howlett, who perhaps has given a little bit too much on that kick, and it finds him going all the way out, so we'll come all the way back to where Tom Howlett kicked that ball from.
Yeah, disappointing. Right idea. You know, you could see the space over there in the left corner, but yeah, you know, we'll have a scrum now from where that was taken, and it'll be interesting to see how this fares.
Yeah, the scrums have been nice and stable in this game so far, nice and competitive, and that's what you like to see. And it's been a fast-flowing game, I think that's a certain, Spence.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, pre-game speaking to Joe Cowell, who unfortunately is out with that shoulder injury. You know, it's interesting speaking to him. He was saying about how he spent a lot of time this week with the props, you know, just telling them to enjoy themselves, enjoy the experience. And you know, we've mentioned Liam Newstead already, but Tom Pritchard as well, you know, we've seen a bit of already this year, but I think they're doing a good job at scrum time, as we see you with this scrum.
Yeah. Cameron Edwards showing that he's got a bit about him in defence as he brought down the 8. Oh, a big tackle in midfield. I think that might have been the entire front row of Cardiff Met there combining for that tackle.
Yeah, massive tackle. And that's what you want. And, you know, great hands there from Liam Newstead.
He's like a prime Gethin Jenkins.
He's good at all. Gethin Jenkins, eh? I like that. Remember that, man?
Cardiff Met just keeping stuff ticking over in midfield. Willow in this time. Getting over the gain line. Cameron Edwards chooses to put the ball to boot. And not quite been able to be gathered by Jody Devine. But brilliantly handled from Josh Sanchez. The full-back, but Cardiff Met now get the ball back. It's a ding-dong affair here at Rugby 1.
Yeah, an advantage there for Cardiff Met, and you know, I think great pressure in the kick. But yeah, we're going to let our other American Charlie come back in, so I'll step out once more.
Yeah, well, Charlie, there's about 8 minutes left in this first half, and it's been rather back and forth. It's been a fairly free-flowing game. What have you made of it so far?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I think the physicality and the speed has really, really impressed me off the start, Steph. Obviously no pads until they're, at least compared to my NFL or American football. I'll stop talking about it, I promise. But listen, no, without the pads, it feels like they're more free and they have more ability to do more on the field, or on the pitch rather, when they are there. The speed, the physicality has really, really impressed me so far. Obviously just the one try, but I'm impressed with Cardiff Met. Obviously, given their situation coming in with a lot of the substitutes and not a lot of their main guys on play today, against a pretty solid team in Leeds Beckett. They're still in the top 8. They're still going to compete in the playoffs. but it's been physical and it's been fun to say the least.
Yeah, we've spoken a lot about the physicality, but I think the engine on some of these boys, they're pretty fit. There's been a ding-dong, like I called it just now, back and forth.
What's a ding-dong?
A ding-dong, ding-dong, it's back and forth.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, okay.
I don't know if a lot of people say it, but I definitely say it. So
Not in the States, but I'm definitely going to add it back home now.
Yeah,
I appreciate
we'll
it.
roll with it, Charlie. But what have you made of it? It's been a free-flowing game, and it makes it exciting. And you brought up American football, and I'd say from an outside perspective, it's quite stop and start, and differently to this, this is very free-flowing.
The pace of play of rugby is, I think, way better compared to American football. You do have the start and stop a lot over there, right? You have the commercial breaks, you have the timeouts, you have to stop after every single play. It feels like this is more flowing, it's easier to follow, and honestly, I think it gives people more of an opportunity to score at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, definitely, and I think BUCS Super Rugby is the Super Bowl of rugby, in my opinion. But thank you for joining me again, and you will join us once more in a bit. But we'll rejoin the action as Sam treads back to get the ball, and he's lapped up by 3 Leeds Beckett defenders, but Met just about recover to regain possession. And Tom Howlett finds some distance on that kick, and a touch Lionel Messi would be proud of from Ollie Malassi here.
You keep talking about me, right, saying about me playing rugby back in the day, but you and Messi, man, what's going on there?
Yeah, but I don't compare myself to Messi, but I think you'd compare yourself to some of the best rugby players in the world, Spence.
No, that's a big statement.
Well, Dan Reid put ball to boot there, and he found touch as we have a look there. Cardiff Met just about ensuring that they get themselves out of trouble. Perhaps a little kicker from Archie Callahan, a cheeky one that the referee didn't see.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it, because I seen it, but wasn't sure whether I was going to speak about it. But yeah, lucky there, I think.
Yeah, it's competitive out there, hot heads all over the place, so we love the passion at BUCS Super Rugby, and there's always there's a melting pot of emotions at Rugby 1 every time with the Archers Ultras.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Connor Edwards once more puts ball to boot. Well gathered once more.
Yeah, and there's space out here.
It's Matt Salisbury now who'll with a big old handoff. He's lapped up in the end by Henry Kerwin. Toby Morley, he finds Ollie Malassi again. And Jody Devine is the one who kicks this time. There's been a rotation of kickers for Leeds Beckett so far. A lot of the boys seem to be able to put ball to boot.
Yeah, and again, when we were speaking earlier, to a few of the Leeds people, within the team, they were saying about some of their strengths, being the line out and the scrum, but also the boys in the backfield, they trust to put ball to foot. So it's coming into the game more. And as we look at the replay of that handoff there from Matt Salisbury, maybe a questionable handoff, but it's BUCS Super Rugby. We see it all.
It is, we do. And we wouldn't want it any other way, would we, Spence?
Nah, of course not.
Well, it'll be another chance for Madison Hunting to show his accuracy at the line.
Yeah, and I can just hear them Archers over there singing everywhere we go. People want to know, who we are. Well, I'm sure that our friends from Ball State have come here wondering who are they, and they're going to go home and they're not going to forget who we are.
I don't think they had a chance to ask who they were. I think they'd already been told by the Archers Ultras. As Leeds Beckett now look to go wide. And it is wide. It's Josh Sanchez who's wrapped up finally by Max Brown, who claims to have his hands on the ball.
Yeah, great turnover there for Cardiff Met. But, I really think that it's times like that in this game that will make the difference. Unfortunately, it looks like it's gone Beckett's way.
Yeah, I think the referee had given one way, and then the linesman said, no, you're wrong.
Yeah. As we see Danny Milton there in the crowd, loving life probably.
He'll be enjoying what he's seen so far, I think, for Cardiff Met. Not many things going necessarily wrong from the game plan.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he can be too upset with what we've seen here tonight at all. I imagine he's in quite a good mood. But yeah, as we take a look now at what just happened.
Yeah, and you see Max Brown was in there relatively quick, but perhaps not quick enough. The referee thought he was, but the linesman says no.
Yeah, I think that's one of them that could have gone either way there.
You can take a look off your face, Spence. The referee is always right. And Madison Hunting again continues his impressive form at the set piece. And Leeds Beckett look to go wide once more, and it's Madison Hunting who finds himself out wide, trying to prove that he's got a bit of pace to burn. Toby Morley now, and Louis Kircham is knocked back a little bit. Yeah, and Beckett now looking to ship it wide, and they've had relative success so far, but they're knocked back in midfield and the ball is knocked forward. Met thought they had a chance to counter-attack there, but the referee says no, we'll go and we'll have the scrum.
Yeah, I think Beckett are trying things. They through the likes of Louis Kirkham, who I've been told great things about as well. With his carrying prowess. But unfortunately, as we look for Beckett, they are trying things, but just quite not coming off in the right areas and knocked on there. So we will have another scrum.
Yeah, Max AP there. He looked to hit a good angle, but that Cardiff Met defence was up nice and quickly to stop him and to force the error really in midfield.
Yeah, great line speed. But yeah, going back to Louis Kirkham, the open side flanker, you heard good things about him, seen good things of him this year. So it's going to be even more vital, that Cardiff Met continue what they've just done there with that good line speed, getting up, not sitting on the toilet and making sure that they make them tackles when needed.
Yeah, and the kick from Tom Howlett didn't quite go according to plan. And I think it did come off a Cardiff Met body as well.
Oh, and a little bit of afters there as well. Oh, on a hit, but I think, but we will take another look at that.
Yeah, interesting emotions perhaps boiling over slightly. Yeah, Gus Patterson certainly wasn't happy about something that happened in midfield. Yeah. I think he's having, well, I don't know if I'd call it a quiet word with the referee, but he's certainly having a word.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that probably will go unnoticed. But, if it was a TMO, maybe it'd be different.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could be the TMO here, Spence. Was there a little bit of afters, perhaps? A throw of the ball, and then, there is certainly a headbutt from Matt Salisbury, and I think he find himself a little bit lucky that the referee didn't spot that one.
Yeah, I think so. I think if like I say, if it was a third match official, I think he'd be in a lot of trouble there.
Yeah, nevertheless, it wasn't on the pitch, but we'll continue with the game, and passion boiling over a little bit too much there. Not really something we want to see, but plenty of positive action on the pitch. But a negative scrum for Cardiff Met as Leeds Beckett get a penalty just inside the Cardiff Met half. Yeah, we see it once more. A throw of the ball, and then that's just silly, I think. There's no need for that, but the referee hasn't seen it, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the throw of the ball. That's just a laugh and a joke. But then he just takes a little bit too far, Salisbury. And now Beckett in a good position in the 22. So it's just them fine margins sometimes that we talk about. And we were speaking before the game to the ref, Tom Spurriel, who was saying, how these games are great to ref and he loves the occasion. But he also mentioned that last time against Bath, he had a bit of sand in his eye. But anyway, maybe that's something to forget about for tonight as we take a look at the score here. Cardiff Met 8, Leeds Beckett 3. We are in the red zone, so a massive opportunity for Beckett here to make sure that they put pressure on going into half time.
Yeah, and Madison Hunting who tries something a little different as he goes to the front. And now Leeds Beckett to be looking to cross that white line for the first time in this game just before the half-time whistle goes. A good carry there from Louis Kirkham, a very good carry as he beats two. Now they look to go wide for Dan Reid. Dan Reid crashes over the gain line. Toby Morley dictating his forwards now, asking them to have a go.
Yeah, and this is what Beckett want to do, they want to keep it tight because they haven't had much success out wide, so try it through a different channel, through the forwards, and see if they get anything off the back of it.
Yeah, and they'll keep coming around that corner, and it's Madison Hunt didn't want to go that time, but he's pegged back a few paces.
Yeah, pile drives, I would say there, to be fair. Cardiff met in defence, but great carry again.
Ollie Malaki again, it was there. Met competing at that breakdown. As Beckett almost find a gap to wriggle through.
Knocked on again from Beckett. Just a few too many mistakes from Beckett in the first half. Cardiff Met could maybe count themselves lucky for not, conceding a try there. But again, maybe we have to use the question of great defence, great line speed, and not allowing Beckett to play where they want to play.
Yeah, and that's all we have for that first half, and it's been an entertaining first half, Spence, isn't it? Plenty of, well, I've called it ding-donging, so I may as well stick with that phrase now, I think. But no, it's been a back and forth kind of game. Met, the only team to cross over for a try. Do you think they'll be relatively happy with that first half?
Yeah, look, I think I mentioned, halfway in that I think the coaches will be very happy with how that's gone. But I think now at half-time it's about saying to them, let's continue to exploit those areas where the space is, because there is definitely more tries out on this field for Cardiff Met to have. And I think as well for Beckett, I think definitely that Kerry Wood will be saying this is there for us. So this game could go either way, and it's about now the players in both sides just putting their hands up and saying, okay, let's change gear.
Yeah, and quickly, which head coach do you think will be the happiest of the two going in at half-time? Or do you think both will be relatively happy?
Yeah, I think personally that Ian Gardner and Danny Milton will be the happiest of the two. Going into half-time with the lead of 8-3, and also playing a team that is very new to this standard of rugby.
Yeah, well, at the end of the first half of Rugby 1, it is Cardiff Met 8, Leeds Beckett 3, and we'll throw down now to our presenters, Matt and Charlie.
Wow. What a half, Charlie. Your first ever half of rugby. How'd you find it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Low scoring affair, 8-3 for the good guys, obviously, but nonetheless, it was physical, it was fast, something that I wasn't really prepared for, but the crowd is fantastic. It's a close match to say the least, so I'm excited for the second half of action as well.
Absolutely. Anything that really stood out for you in the game of rugby, your first ever rugby game?
A lot of things that didn't stood out just because I just don't know the game. Again, it's my first ever rugby match, so I appreciate you guys hosting me and putting up with my lack of knowledge. But nonetheless, no, the speed and the physicality really, really stood out. When you get the ball to the outside, the moves that some of those wingers have, they can really, really create space. The juke moves reminds me a lot of American football as well, maybe even better. But nonetheless, the pace of play as well stood out, and the talent is phenomenal.
Yeah, you speak of American football there. Is it slightly similar to that in a way? Any sort of similarities to any other sports in the States?
It absolutely is, and it honestly is a really, really fun topic. I hope more people explore American football, and honestly, just as a quick sidebar as well, we were able to experience the mentality of 3 different American football players. That is, Ball State Sports Link students were able to go really in-depth to some of the football players back home in Muncie, Indiana. I actually came out with a documentary about it as well. We have a short teaser for you. Love you to take a look.
I probably picked up a football when I was like 2 or 3.
I was so happy playing football. There was just so much joy that I found in it.
And I fell in love with that Friday night, that's the guy, I want to be the guy.
He wanted to be a Division I football player. That was his goal.
Football just became an obsession. Goal to win with all your guys, it's just nothing like it.
It consumes your life.
And to have it taken away from you.
It's kind of your worst nightmare.
We have 12 days to play for each other.
Wasn't big enough, wasn't strong enough, wasn't fast enough.
A lot of football players in college started playing when they're little kids. It's been all that they've known for a long time. So what happens next? can you let the game of football go?
All right.
Superb stuff from the guys at SportsLink there. But one person who knows all about American football and rugby is Archer's women's captain, EC Cantrell. EC, how did you find that first half here tonight?
Yeah, I think it was really impressive from the boys that stepped up to play in the game. You know, I think there's about 12 new faces on the pitch, and I think they did a really fantastic job. You know, we're ahead of the game, so yeah.
Let me just say really quickly, it's refreshing to hear another American at least this close on camera. It makes me feel a little bit better. But no, I mean, just about your transition from America over now to the city of Cardiff in the country of Wales. Obviously, you're playing rugby and you're quite good at it, but how has your transition been?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, it's been a great story that I've been through. I've experienced things that I never thought I could experience, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm so glad that I came to Cardiff Met. It's been very unique and very amazing.
Yeah, and speaking of transition, it's a bit of a transition for the squad tonight. A lot of new faces. Do you think they've gelled well so far?
Yeah, I do. I think they did really well. I don't know a ton of these boys, like I do the BSR boys, because they're not in gym training with me, but I'm really impressed with the way that they've played and the way that they've connected.
Yeah, anyone in particular that stood out or maybe you're looking forward to seeing in the second half when the replacements come on?
I think the 9 has done a really, really good job keeping the pace of the game up, and I think the backs have connected really well and put some points on the board.
Were you able to come back onto the pitch recently after some off-field as well, but how was that transition back onto the pitch like for you? What was it like being able to play the sport you love?
Yeah, it was really difficult for me to get injured, and especially in my third year, you know, I was out for about 21 weeks, and then our game for Durham that was supposed to be a home match got canceled, unfortunately, for the weather, so we had to travel to Loughborough, but I got to play a full 80 minutes, and it felt fantastic to be back on the pitch and run around with the girls again.
Yeah, and being on the sidelines for so long and then coming in, obviously, you might be a little bit rusty or something like that. Not you specifically. But some of these guys tonight have no caps in BSR. Some of them have never even played champ. What kind of mentality do they need to have, especially those coming off the bench, coming into the squad and saying, right, this is my chance, I need to take it, I've been out for so long?
Yeah, I think you really have to capitalize on all your opportunities. You really have to, you know, take in the moment, and when you walk onto Rugby 1, just really be grateful for your opportunity and take advantage of it, but not at the same time put too much pressure on yourself, because, you know, you can get in your head. You got to keep your head right and do whatever it is that you do to play a good game of rugby.
Back to the match at hand in the second half, what would the advice be to Cardiff Met, to the boys, right, to try and hold on to this one in a low-scoring affair?
I'd hold on to the ball. You know, I feel like a lot of I'm not a big fan of a kicking game, so I think I'd like to see a lot of attack from Cardiff Met Rugby and see the backs get the ball a little bit more.
Superb stuff. EC, really, really good to speak to you today. It's really good to get you down here again and everything like that. We're just going to see a quick video of the try scored today down in this corner. Can you talk to us a little bit about how that happened? Or I know you can't see the screen, but
I'm trying to remember. It was in the right corner, right? Yeah, I think it was after a turnover, if I'm not mistaken. I thought it was really impressive. I think the fans really liked it too, and I think they need to keep that pace of the game going.
Yeah, and speaking of the fans, there's some interesting fancy dress going on tonight. First question, you're not dressed up. Any reason why? And second, do you have any idea what's going on tonight?
I'm not dressed up. Our social actually got canceled because the second team couldn't get back from their game in time, but it was going to be farmers and chickens, so you're pretty lucky not to see me in a farmer's costume. But yeah, the boys, they really go out for they really go all out for all the socials, and I think the BSR boys took the opportunity to get dressed up and support the boys that are out making their debut tonight.
Yeah, and how important are they going to be in the second half? It's still a tight game, still only 5 points in it. How crucial are they to get the boys over the line?
Yeah, I think the Ultras play a huge role in Cardiff Met Rugby. You know, they're always there supporting the fans. They will be in the face of the touch judge. They'll make noise no matter what the score is, so I think they play a huge role.
And one last question about yourself. Looking ahead in your career, I know you maybe don't have all the answers, but what is something that you want for yourself from a rugby standpoint as you continue on in your career?
I would love to continue to play rugby at an international level. You know, the end goal would be to play for the U.S. Eagles team. I'd love to play some sevens this summer with PR7s if I got the opportunity. I'm just open for any opportunity that I can, you know, travel and play rugby at the highest level. So.
Fantastic. EC, it's always great to have you down here. Always great to speak to you. A pleasure, as usual. But at Cardiff Met, we like to celebrate all of our fantastic athletes here on campus. So here's a little tribute from us here at Cardiff Met to our fantastic female sportswomen.
I'm athletic.
I'm independent. I'm confident.
I'm ambitious.
I'm leading.
Out because, Danai Mugabe!
Absolute smash of a tackle there.
I'm inspiring.
I'm equal.
Oh, and speaking of exceptional, it's Captain Abigail Juncker sinking a 3.
I'm a woman.
Yeah. Well, we find ourselves back now in the gantry ready for another entertaining half, I'm sure, here at Rugby 1. And we had a little look at that video there, celebrating International Women's Day, which is coming up. And we've got so many great women who compete across so many different sports here at Cardiff Met, don't we, Spence?
Yeah, it's great to see, on International Women's Day that, things are being done as us in broadcasting, but also, on a global scale, the awareness on all social media platforms and everything to, really shine a light on how great women in sport are today. And fortunately at Cardiff Met, it's a great platform for women to get into sport. With every sport that we do here, that is available to the women as well, and it's great. That's how it should be in 2024. And, hopefully with things like International Women's Day today, it can continue to, grow and progress.
Yeah, we saw some big old hits there, and I think probably one of my favourite moments of the season is that Danai Mugabe hit, which we saw in the highlights package. I think she nearly took the opposition player's head off.
Yeah, look, we've all talked about Danai Mugabe all season, and she is special, and she continues to grow as a player. But also as a woman, as we see in that promo, she wants to make it a way that women in sport, need a voice. Players like Danai Mugabe are really big for women, not only in rugby, but also in sport across the globe.
Yeah, well said, Spence, and plenty more action, hopefully, from the women to come as well this year. But as we await the teams to make their way back down to Rugby 1, let's talk a little bit about what we saw in the first half. We spoke a lot about the attacking aspect of the game just before we threw down to the studio. But let's talk about the defensive aspects. I think both teams will be relatively happy with the way they defended, but maybe Cardiff Met to be happier. They've obviously kept Leeds Beckett out, but Leeds Beckett have been inside that 5 metre line on a fair few occasions, but Cardiff Met have managed to force the error, haven't they?
Yeah, look, I think where the defence is concerned tonight for both sides, it's about line speed being the catalyst of that. And I've seen from a few players in Cardiff Met, just the want and the desire to get off the line, and all coming up as one. They've got a few shooters coming up, but they're coming up as one, which is causing a disruption. As we see here, Beckett, only 5 metres away from the try line in a really good position. But Cardiff Met, they're all around the ruck, making sure that they're nice and low, and they're all coming up as one. So yeah, it could have been a possible try there for Leeds Beckett, but because Cardiff Met are defending as a pack and they're not going up in ones and twos, they're able to get together, hold up, and clear their lines.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that'll be something that Cardiff Met will be looking to keep doing in the second half, defending with pace, defending as a unit as well, because they'll be looking to keep Leeds Beckett out. Definitely, as we see Leeds Beckett make their way back onto the pitch again. They're the first to appear, and they'll have something to prove in this second half, and they'll be looking to try and turn the game back around. Do you think we'll see a Leeds Beckett side looking to go for the posts if they come within the Archers half early on?
Yeah, I think maybe that's something that Leeds Beckett will look to exploit, because we've seen Josh Sanchez have one kick off the tee, and it was definitely a successful kick from about 40 metres out, and I think he's got a big old boot on him. So maybe if there are penalties in that final third, maybe they'll choose to go for the kick rather than go for the corner. But at the same time, in saying that, we've heard about their set piece. We haven't really seen too much of it in that first half. Cardiff Met very good at defending set pieces, as we've seen all season. But it's going to be interesting now to see whether Leeds come out, all guns blazing, or whether they treat this a bit like a championship game where, they decide to play safe, play for points.
Yeah, and still plenty to play for, and again, a brilliant atmosphere as the teams make their way out to the second half. And I have to share this with you, Spence. I have to share it with everyone listening as well. Our American director just here today was bitterly disappointed that we don't sing the national anthem before the game. Something that's big in America, I know. And I, for one, want to see it next BUCS Super Rugby season.
Yeah, look, I struggled not to laugh when I heard that in the year. But hey, she's got a point, They're so patriotic over in the States. And, Wales, we class ourselves as patriotic, but maybe a national anthem should be added into BUCS Super Rugby.
And I'm sure there's some beautiful singers over in the Archers Ultras, and also from Leeds Beckett as well, I'm sure. That's enough from us now. We'll get back to the action.
Yeah, well, I've heard a lot about your singing in the choir and all, but never seen anything to prove that one.
Yeah, let's focus on the rugby now, Spence. Never mind my singing. Charlie Keith gathers the ball for Leeds Beckett now at the start of the second half, and they're looking to increase the tempo. Josh Sanchez with his dancing feet once more. Josh Sanchez loves to have that ball in hand, doesn't he, Spence?
Yeah, look, I said about him being sharp earlier, and he really is. And, I haven't seen enough of him probably in that first 40 minutes. We can see that he likes to have that ball in hand. And here again, he's got himself in a good position. Unfortunately, they've gone for the kick, but hopefully he can get the ball more in his hand and see what he's all about.
He's recovered well by Sam Trod, who puts the ball to boot, doesn't find touch. So Leeds Beckett will have a chance to counter-attack. An ambitious crossfield kick. A slight collision in midfield, but Henry Kerwin is the one that gathers the ball. The try scorer in that first half for Cardiff Met.
Yeah, some poor communication there between Cardiff Met. That just takes a little my ball, Kerwin's ball, whoever's getting on the end of it. But they do get it away in the end.
Karen Edwards puts ball to boot this time, and I thought for a moment Henry Kerwin was going to have a big old hit, but well recovered from Leeds Beckett as they look to slow the ball down a little bit here now and regroup.
Yeah, really interesting as well. I think that Beckett have used that box kick quite a lot. You can see that they don't like to play too much in their own half, and they want to apply that pressure to Cardiff Met. And it'll be interesting to see whether the back three of Cardiff Met now can continue to hold up in the air and make sure that they don't allow any silly mistakes off the back of Beckett's kicking game.
Tom Howlett there was very brave under the ball, and even though he was very brave, Cardiff Met losing possession in midfield now, and a chance for Leeds Beckett to make a decision to perhaps go for the posts and turn this into a 3-point game. Sorry, into a 2-point game.
Hey,
mind my maths.
Maths wasn't one of your strong suits either. So we mentioned about the significance of whether they go for the post or go for the corner early in the second half, and they've gone for the corner. So it shows that they're still not scared to shy away from this challenge. And there is only 5 points as well, that separates these teams. So it is only one try. As we take a look here now at what happened for that penalty, we can just see. Madison Hunt in there, a prowess tonight around the pitch, and he's continued to do so.
He's been brilliant, and we spoke about their decision, Leeds Beckett, to go for the corner. Well, when you've got a man like Madison Hunting who's been arrow accuracy from the line, I don't blame them for going for it, and they'll have a chance now from just outside the 5-metre line to try and nudge one over at the start of the second half.
Yeah, and the Archers got to him on one occasion, but he's solid on this one.
Yeah, and a cheeky one from Leeds Beckett as Louis Kirkham came around the corner, and now Leeds Beckett looking to increase the tempo. Tom Mills now tries his luck.
Madison Hunting was on the charge there, mind. That was a great carry from the hooker.
They look to keep it tight, and we spoke about this defensive performance from Cardiff Met at half-time. Well, it's time for them to show another one if they're going to keep Leeds Beckett out, because they come in like bulls round the corner at the moment.
Yeah, and in this position by now, it's so vital that Cardiff Met don't give any silly penalties like an offside. you know, they have to make sure that they stay disciplined in this position and just slowly tire out the attack of Leeds Beckett.
Yeah, Leeds Beckett break that gain line once more. And they look to increase the tempo once more as they keep coming around the corner. Charles Keith, I think it was, coming around the corner. The referee's seen something he doesn't like. I think the ball was unplayable, says the referee, and the scrum.
Yeah, I think it seemed like too many bodies. The ball was in a mess of a place. And they thought, you know, we have a scrum now with Leeds Beckett with ball in hand.
Yeah, and that's just the aftermath of the decision of the referee there to give a scrum to Leeds Beckett. And I think Leeds Beckett, in fairness, were going forward, so it will be their ball led from the decision of the referee.
Yeah, as deserved. You know, they haven't made any silly mistakes in attack, you know, in this play so far, Beckett. So, be interesting to see what they can do off the back of this scrum.
Yeah, and it's a big scrum for both teams here. Leeds Beckett will be looking to give a platform to their backs to dance into a corner perhaps, but Cardiff Met will be looking to disrupt the set piece.
Yeah, maybe a big carry from Ollie Mullocky here.
Yeah, and it's a good nudge from Leeds Beckett, and Toby Morley. Will he go all the way?
Yeah.
I think he will. The referee says yes.
Yeah, really sharp there from Beckett, to be honest. You know, they had the chance, and if it wasn't now, then I think we'd be saying it was never going to come. So 5 minutes into the second half, a great try, I'd say, from Morley. You know, really using the outside and making sure to get away from the pack, and he gets himself over for a nice try.
He does, and you know, we spoke about Rory Morgan in the first half and how important a 9 can be to create chances, and we saw a cheeky play from a 9 there just to find a gap and crossover for Leeds Beckett's first try in this one.
Yeah, and it's simple as well for a scrum half. You know, you get taught that at a young age as a scrum half. Attack the outside shoulder when you've got ball in hand, and he's done a very good job. And he's got some pace behind him. So, you know, it's 8-all, big kick here now for Sanchez to maybe put Beckett in the lead.
Yeah, and we saw the potential that Josh Sanchez had from boot in the first half, and you'd almost expect this one to go over and to put Leeds Beckett into the lead. But it's 8-all currently here at Rugby 1. Yes, that's a great nudge from Josh Sanchez. We were directly behind that kick when we spent, and it went off like an arrow to exactly where he wanted to put that.
He's got a lovely technique as well, I think, if you ask me. You know, the way that he sort of lines the ball up, he's really calm, and he doesn't really look like, you know, he's going to take a big kick in a big moment of a game. Yeah, he's a calm kicker, and that's 2 out of 2 for him off the tee.
Yeah, well, it's Cardiff Met 8, Leeds Beckett 10 with 33 minutes to go, so plenty of time as debutant Tom Howlett gets it back underway at Rugby 1. Try scorer Toby Morley will, I'm sure, look to clear the Leeds Beckett lines once more here as he puts ball to boot. And it's a wonderful take from Sam Trod, who puts Cardiff Met straight back on the front foot. Tom Howler puts it out wide, and here's Jacob Wilmot gets a chance to stretch those legs, and Cardiff Met march into the Leeds Beckett 22.
Yeah, fast ball needed here now from Met.
Met still marching forward slowly but surely. Max Brown this time gets a chance to break the gain line. And now the Archers will keep it in tight. Chance for their forwards to have a go. Howler puts it wide to Gus Patterson. Who does find a gap. He beats one, he beats two, and he gives it wide to Henry Kerwin, who gets the offload.
Yeah, he's in for a try in the corner for Cardiff Met.
But it's great play, first of all, from Gus Patterson. Gus Patterson breaks the gain line. He looks out wide. He sees speedster Henry Kerwin outside him. And then the ball back inside to, I think, Gus Patterson, who starts and finishes that move wonderfully for Cardiff Met and puts them back in the lead 13 points to 10.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain it was Patterson who got the finish. And, you know, when the ball came to Gus there, I was sort of questioning the why, because there was nothing on down the blind side. But as we look now at the try, he set up Kerwin in the corner. I thought Kerwin was going to go over, but no, the ball goes back to Gus the Bus, and he gets over the white line. But as I say, I was questioning the why of when they went out left. And sometimes, as I mentioned earlier, experienced players with experienced minds need to come into play in a game like this. And he's done that exceptionally well there, Gus Patterson. You know, he's decided that there was space on outright, and he's exploited it. And Cardiff Met now are in the lead after not being behind for too long.
That Leeds Beckett defensive line opened up like the Red Sea there, and then Gus Patterson not only had the vision to look out wide, he found Henry Kerwin. Henry Kerwin had the vision to have a lovely offload back inside and finish beautifully from Gus Patterson. And the kick is a wonderful one from Tom Howlett as he now extends that lead. It's Cardiff Met 15, Leeds Beckett 10 with 10 minutes gone as we have another look at that try. And it's brilliant from Henry Kerwin, first of all, to have the vision for that offload. And then Gus Patterson was only going to do one thing, and that was finish the move off in the end.
Yeah, exploiting defence, as we mentioned, the importance of it, the significance of it. And, you know, we've seen it there from Cardiff Met. We've seen it from Beckett not so long ago. So it just feels like this game is opening up a little bit. But unfortunately, as Cardiff Met knock the ball on, so they do one thing right, and it's like as if they've just gone 2 steps backwards.
Yeah, and a mistake there, and we can see now as we restart that Carwyn Edwards has left the field, and replacement scrum half Alex Terry has entered the fray, and he'll be looking now to make his mark on this game, won't he, Spence?
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity for Terry. You know, not been in and around the setup at BUCS level yet, BUCS Super Rugby anyway, for that matter. So a massive occasion for him, but he can't let the occasion get to him. You know, he has to make sure that he controls the game now as a 9, because in my opinion, Carwyn Edwards done a very good job in the 50 minutes that he was on that field tonight.
Yeah, and I spoke a little bit about it before kick-off, and it was interesting to see Carwyn Edwards and Tom Howlett, the 9-10 partnership, both debutants. It can be tough to try and to control a game, and that's an important aspect of it, but I think they've done a wonderful job, you'd have to say, so far. And Tom Howlett still has plenty of time to show more of his talent as Leeds Beckett try to respond quickly as they break the gate line, and a lovely offload. And Louis Kirkham couldn't quite find the white line, but the momentum is certainly there for Leeds Beckett. Matt Salisbury found Jody Devine, who's brought down finally. Connor Hancock now. And once more we see Leeds Beckett tell the backs to get out of the way. It's the turn of the forwards to march us forward. But Cardiff Met once more, when they need to, they win the penalty within their 5-metre line, and that is how you get rid of some trouble in your own 22, isn't it, Spence?
Yeah, and again, you know, we see the hands on the heads of Ewan Guy, captain, the skipper, doing what he does best, you know, making a disruption at the breakdown, and that's everything that you want, you know, from your skipper. And sometimes, you know, it's not about being the loudest man on the pitch, it's about setting an example, and we hear that a lot in rugby, and, you know, Ewan Guy doing that so far tonight feels like a big moment in this game.
Yeah, we'll have a little look at the moment that got Cardiff Met that ball back, and he's just so quick over that ball that the Leeds Beckett support line just doesn't have a chance to go and help his buddy out, and Cardiff Met can relieve some pressure, and they did.
Yeah, great turnover, you know, great agility to get down on that ball, and, you know, then the strength to stay over the top of it.
Yeah. Connor Chapman finds his man from the line, and a nudge on from Cardiff Met here as they march outside their 22.
Yeah, great drive there from Cardiff Met.
And the first box kick there of the night for Alex Terry, and he puts distance on it. Beckett return it to Alex Terry, and he puts both the boot once more, looking perhaps for that 50-22.
Yeah, the roll there from maybe a knock on.
Matt Salisbury brought down just shy of the halfway line. And Louis Kirkham again, we've said his name a lot tonight, Spence. He's carried that ball wonderfully for Leeds Beckett.
Impressive for me, Louis Kirkham. Constantly carrying with the ball and making yards. You can talk about people carrying the ball, but it's how efficient they are in them carries. And he's done a good job for me so far.
Yeah, and the ball was put up in the air once more for Leeds Beckett, and a mistake again from the high ball from Cardiff Met, and Leeds Beckett will have a chance now to march forward again.
It's a great counter-ruck from Cardiff Met. Unfortunate they, just probably giving it a little bit too much, so they get the penalty there.
Yeah, maybe while we have a short stoppage in play here, we'll get one of our friends in from Ball State once more, and I know that Dom, I've been watching him for the last 2 minutes. He's been very excited up here in the gantry to talk.
Yeah, no, I just saw the injury down low. I thought they were going to stop play. They didn't for a little bit. Now they just did. Trying to see.
Well, we'll have a little look at that mistake there. But let's talk about something more important. Let's talk about that try for Cardiff.
Yeah.
Wonderful play. The ball went out wide. Gus Patterson did well to break that gain line. It's another exciting start to the second half, isn't it, Tom?
No, absolutely. And I think one of the big things, Sportslink got some access yesterday to the team meeting before tonight's match. And the one thing that Coach said before the match is that there's going to be opportunity on the outside, a ton of opportunity on the left and the right sides of the pitch, mainly the left, but I believe that score came on the right side of the pitch. But there's going to be a ton of opportunity to space out the ball, get wide, and that's exactly what the Archers did. And that's a big try to go up by 5 now, put a little bit of pressure on Leeds Beckett. So now they got to get in, and then if they want to take the lead, they got to convert. So no, that's huge to make the lead 5 instead of 3. That's big.
Yeah, very quickly, I'm interested to see your take on the defensive aspect of the game. Both teams have been relatively good, and we saw another great defensive work from Cardiff Met over in the corner.
No, absolutely. And it's the physicality, and it's the way that they've approached it. And when we got a chance, it was all about being fast, kicking off long, kick within the 3 phases. I think that's what Coach said so well, and Ian Gardner has done a very nice job of getting these guys to not only be disciplined, because it was a little sloppy at the beginning, and I saw one of the forwards in Barnaby Waddell. He was telling guys, hey, too many penalties early, we got to clean it up a bit, we're not playing discipline right now. And then the Archers able to clean it up, be disciplined, not take any silly penalties.
Yeah. And you talk about physicality, Dom. Well, Leeds Beckett showed plenty of dominance there. Well, thanks for joining me again. We'll get Spence back in now, but I'm glad you're enjoying the game, Dom.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, well, it'll be a Cardiff Met scrum now, just shy of the halfway line. And Leeds Beckett thought they were on the march there for a moment. And just a mistake there, just put in way too much on that kick, and that'll be a mistake that could come back to bite them, Spence.
Yeah, look, there's about 20 minutes left on the clock here at Kincoid, and you haven't really got time to make mistakes like that if you want to get victories here at Rugby 1. So something that I'm sure they'll be regretting, but hey, now they look to the next job.
Alex Terry was the man who found that ball at the bottom of the ruck, and he finds the man who created Cardiff's Met's most recent try, Gus Patterson, but a mistake there, this time from Alex Terry from the boot, who just decides to kick it out on the full. But Leeds Beckett will have possession now just inside the Cardiff Met half.
Yeah, and it may be a poor decision there from Alex Terry. He's done well for me since he's come on the last couple of minutes, putting the ball in the right areas, but just unfortunate there, that one doesn't come off. Yeah, so, you take a look here at the scrum that's just happened, and then this carry, lovely stuff there from Cardiff Met. Gus doing again what he does, being a bus, but unfortunately we didn't get to see Alex's kick, but yeah, it's something that I'm sure he'll be thinking about and wanting to put right.
Well, at least we get to see this man, Madison Hunting, throw in from the line again. He's been immaculate so far. I hope I haven't cursed him there. No, of course. Well, I didn't curse him, but perhaps I had cursed the line out. And Cardiff Met regained possession. And perhaps will look to go wide. Here's Gus Patterson showing his strength once more. Jacob Wilmot, his centre partner, just helping him secure that ball. As we see Josh Hart carry for the first time in this one. The man who's been on form in the Championship. Scored 5 tries in 1 game. So I'm looking forward to seeing if he can ignite the BUCS Super Rugby League as well.
Yeah, I was just looking then, scrappy again from Cardiff Met. They got the advantage, but I was just looking there in the attack of Cardiff Met. The depth is quite poor in an attacking sense. Gus has had some great carries tonight, but off the back of these carries, it's unfortunate that the depth isn't quite there. But as we take a look at that bounce there from Patterson, but they got the advantage and the penalty there because of the no arms tackle.
Yeah, Cardiff Met will have a chance to push themselves forward, and another great kick off the boot. Tom Howlett marches Cardiff Met halfway into the 22 of Leeds Beckett.
Yeah, and you mentioned that man there, Tom Howlett. He hasn't done much wrong for me tonight. You know, coming in this outside half, it's always a big task and a big question. But he hasn't done much wrong for me, and he's keeping, you know, the Netherlands international Vickers Meyer on the bench so far. So must be doing a good job out there and impressing the coaches.
Cardiff Met just about do enough to keep a hold of the ball there. As Harry Silman introducing himself with a carry of his own. And Gus Patterson, a man who loves to carry that ball, breaks the gain line momentarily. But the ball finds itself back to Alex Terry, who finds Josh Hart, who's always willing to run. Tom Pritchard has a go himself now. And a big carry, Barnaby Waddell. Patterson now. Perhaps a little isolated, and Leeds Beckett managed to steal the ball in their own 22. Met doing well to disrupt the ball, and Alex Terry says thank you very much and crosses over. Perhaps a discussion to be had between the referee and the linesman.
Yeah, I think we will see a discussion here between the referee and the linesman. But if you ask me, Leeds are caught sleeping there. You know, the ball is in open play. The try has been given. It is good. As I say, the try was in open play. The ball was in open play, sorry. And Alex Terry of Cardiff Met, you know, capitalises on that opportunity.
And I think it was, you'll be seeing the thing, I think it was Ollie Smith who came in to disrupt that ruck. And then Alex Terry got the fruits of his labour and just said thank you very much, and well, walked in for Cardiff Met and another try for them.
And I think that's what the Leeds players will be complaining about there to the referee. You know, where did Ollie Smith come from? Did he come in from the side? But hey, look, it's a fair game. It's probably 1-1 now on the decision. So, you know, it's one of them. Rugby's a great game, and sometimes things may get missed, or, you know, it's just the way the cookie crumbles.
Couldn't have put it better myself, Spence. Chance now for Tom Howlett, who's shown his kicking prowess from hand to find touch on many occasions. And he gets a chance now to extend Cardiff Met's lead. Yeah, and it's good from Tom Howlett, and the scoreboard now reads 22 for Cardiff Met, 10 for Leeds Beckett.
Yeah, and just taking a look here at that breakdown, Ollie Smith comes in, disrupts the ruck. As I say, the mention is if it's from the side or not, it's been given as legal, and probably the easiest try that Alex Terry will ever score on a special day for himself.
Yeah, Josh Sanchez now to get us going once more, Rugby 1. Around 15 minutes to go here at King Coyd, and I'm sure plenty more drama still to come.
Yeah, I mean, been impressed by Cardiff Met the last 10 minutes. I think Beckett getting that try, you know, it sort of give them a bit of motivation maybe that they were lacking after half time. So impressive last 10 minutes. Be interesting to see how the last 15 go now. Beckett need to, get that next try to be within a chance of winning this game.
Josh Hart with a strong tackle in the Leeds Beckett half, as Leeds Beckett now find a gap and they get a chance to spread their legs. Met recover, but Leeds Beckett will still try and march forward. We see Davis, the replacement scrum half, has come on now for Leeds Beckett.
Yeah, and a bit of miscommunication there from Beckett, but did have the advantage, so they will go back for that.
Yeah, and I think everyone's first reaction was that it was a high tackle, and we thought perhaps the referee had missed it. Yeah, we can have a look at that high tackle. Leeds Beckett do well to burst through the gain line, and then, yeah, I think it's just both men come in for the tackle, and then they kind of get in each other's ways, and Leeds Beckett will look to capitalise now and try to lessen the scoreboard and get themselves back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, he was tackled and dipping in, but he went just a little bit high there, so fair penalty, and now we will carry on with Leeds Beckett in a good position on the 5 metre line.
Yeah, Madison hunting now to put the ball into the line. He finds them well, and Leeds will be looking to march forward, but at the moment they're stepping backwards.
Yeah, it's on blind.
Oh, they go blind, and it's that man we spoke about now, the replacement 9. Davis finds himself. It's the battle of the 9s at the moment, and the 9s have done well to act quickly and create chances for both teams. And I'll put Leeds Beckett right back into this game, 22-15.
Yeah, look, that's a great try for Leeds Beckett. They get into a really good position on the 5 metre line, but then the questions are asked, can they capitalise on this? And there we see Davis going down the blind side and getting over the try line. Poor defence from Cardiff Met, if you ask me. When you're defending on the 5 metre line, you should always be watching the blind side, making sure your guards are in place. And just there for me, it looks like the 1s and 2s, as I mentioned earlier. You can't defend in 1s and 2s, and it just looks there like they're not defending as a pack, and they're not communicating. And they've been exploited there by a very quick man in Davis.
Yeah, and is it a case as well? We saw a little bit of Leeds Beckett's pace out wide. Was it maybe a case that they were focusing on Jody Devine and the pass that could have gone out wide?
Yeah, maybe, but then in that scenario, and a great kick from Josh Sanchez, I have to say there. So now, the score is tight, 22-17. But going back to the Devine point, maybe it was a case of Cardiff Met defending and having their eyes on him. But that's a case of making sure that your men come round, from the open side, and making sure you've got enough men there to cover not only Jody Devine, but also Davis as number 9.
Yeah, and a change at 10 for Cardiff Met. Tom Howlett, who made his debut tonight, comes off, and Vickers Meyer, who we have seen on a few occasions in BUCS Super Rugby this year, he comes on to introduce himself. He's been off with the Dutch national team, hasn't he, Spence?
Yeah, he's been away with Netherlands now for a couple of weeks. Where he's had some great success, getting on the try sheet quite a couple of times. And I think it's important now for Vickers to come onto the field, having the experience and the knowledge, just to round out this game and make sure that they get the victory. Unfortunately, though, that line out's gone to Beckett. So a big task again now for Cardiff Met to defend.
Yeah, and Louis Kirkham doing what he's done so well in this game so far, breaking the gain line. And then Guthrie, the substitute, has a go of his own. Met did well to hold the ball up, and some great skill in the middle of the park, but perhaps some handbags in midfield, and the referee wants a word with Barnaby Waddell.
Yeah, and we see in the crowd there Porter Goodrum, who's enjoying a drink tonight for a change. Sometimes we see him on the field in BUCS Super Rugby, but yeah, our fellow American is enjoying a drink in the stands in a body warmer, by it seems.
He must be cold, but there must be some rum in there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, 100%.
Some good rum.
Yeah, it's got to be some good rum. I just seen what you did there, very quick.
Well, that's enough. I promise that's my last joke of the night. There's Leeds Beckett will look to push themselves inside the 22. Only 5 points in this game. Cardiff Met will need to try and hold out and keep Leeds Beckett out. And Leeds Beckett have made their own change at 10. Scott has come on to replace Jonty Lee.
Yeah, and a good game from Jonty Lee, I think, at 10. Maybe could have seen a little bit more from him in terms of expressing, but not a bad game at all.
Yeah, Leeds Beckett have the penalty advantage, so they look to utilise it out wide. Matt Salisbury finding some confidence to try something a little bit different. But Met recover well, but we will go back for that penalty.
Yeah, and it looks like Leeds Beckett have literally stepped it up a notch here. You know, they're driving it, it seems, and it seems like Cardiff Met are really on the back foot with a 5-point lead and 10 minutes to play. You know, you've got to be looking now to them experienced players, as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and with it only being a 5-point game, look at the muscles on him. He should be playing next week if they're real.
I thought you wasn't making any more jokes.
It wasn't a joke, Spence. But no, Leeds Beckett now find themselves within the 5-metre line again. And Madison Hunting, who's been immaculate from the line, has gone off. And he's been replaced.
Yeah,
and Dawood not quite being able to.
Some more afters down there as well, I think.
But well, it's a tight game, Spence, and emotion perhaps starting to boil over. Both teams really want to win this game. Perhaps it might not make much of a difference for the final league table, but it will definitely keep the momentum going if you can have a win tonight.
Yeah, I think that's what tonight's game is all about for both teams. You know, they've both not got that home quarter final. They both will be away. But if you get a win tonight, it really sets you up in a good stead then for that away quarter final. Obviously, they've both got one more game to play after tonight before that. So if they can get a win tonight and continue then winning ways, then it may be the difference between them going into that quarter final with confidence or going into it wondering whether they're going to win it.
Yeah, well, let's get into the business end of this game now. And a man who's been standing here and enjoying every single moment of it is one of our Ball State friends, Charlie. It's a close game, 5 points in it, 1 try in it. Leeds Beckett find themselves within the 5 metres of Cardiff Met. A close game. What have you made of the game so far?
It's been a very, very competitive game, to say the least. You've seen Cardiff Met really kind of take that step in front, but Leeds no quit here in the final stages of the match. I was just over in the Ultras, right in the student section. If you missed WWE wrestling on Monday, well, you have a front and center look over there in the Ultras. They have all the WWE wrestling outfits on over there. It is fantastic to watch. Something that I just have not been a part of over in the United States.
No, but the atmosphere is certainly brilliant, and the performances on the pitch has been brilliant as well. It's been somewhat of an arm wrestle really in this second half. Both teams going at it, both teams crossing for tries with 5 minutes left. What have you made of, defensively and from the attacking perspective as well? From an outside perspective, as someone who doesn't necessarily watch rugby traditionally, what have you made of it all?
It's felt like a rock fight. It's felt like a street fight at times even. It feels like two teams that, although, yes, they don't have a ton to play for, they still want to win down the stretch.
Milton there, he's enjoying it as well as much as you, I'm
Certainly
sure.
Is, I'm sure of it, especially with the score right now, 22-17. Still got to hold on, but no, it's felt tough. It's felt like a rock fight at times. Cardiff Met trying to hang on in the latter stages of this match, but you can tell that both of them really want to win, especially for Cardiff Met and these second teamers. All right, a lot of new faces on this squad, getting a lot of them in their debuts as well. You know they want to take the victory.
Yeah, Vickers Meyer putting both to boot down. I'm glad you're enjoying the game, and brilliant analysis. It's great to see someone who doesn't necessarily watch rugby all the time and how they view the game. So thanks for coming to talk to me again. And I
appreciate it as always.
The last 6 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
In this one. Yeah, 6 minutes remaining in this one. And Spence, you've rejoined me here now as Connor Chapman will get the throw into the line just inside their own half, Cardiff Met.
Yeah, it's important now for Cardiff Met to really apply some more pressure as Connor Chapman does leave the field. and we see Tom McLean come into play for Cardiff Met. Big opportunity now for him to put his hand up for selection, not only in the Championship coming up, but also that game next week. And it starts with a poor throw in the line-out, unfortunately, and it's given Leeds a good platform to play off here.
We saw Dawood in the warm-up, and he looks like a big boy, and that was a big old carry from him there.
Yeah, I mean, I was questioning whether he was a winger, but you assured me that he was a forward, and then once I had a proper look at him, I could see the reason why.
Yeah, Beckett trying their hand at going wide, almost breaking through, but great scramble defence from Cardiff Met. Castleton now having a go himself. Out the back, go Leeds Beckett. And it's Jody Devine who found a little bit of space, not quite able to capitalise on it. Matt Salisbury puts it out the back. Dawood there to secure the ball, using his strength for Leeds Beckett. Tom Mills with a carry. Salisbury with the ball to boot. It doesn't go to where he wants it. But Cardiff Met can only find the hands of Salisbury.
That's a great kick.
Alex Terry there to try and cover. And Vickers Meyer will kick of his own, and it's a big old boot from the Dutchman. It's a bit of a tennis match going on here, but it's great feet in the middle of the park there. That was Jody Devine, who finds a man outside him. But the referee has spotted a forward pass, so perhaps the Archers Ultras had spotted a forward pass and informed the referee. But that was better from Leeds Beckett. They were counter-attacking, and they looked dangerous when they put the ball in hand to people like Jody Devine.
Yeah, look, the last 10 minutes I've been impressed with Beckett. Not just in their attack, but in the mind that they play in this game. I think they play in an experienced manner. We're seeing them probably winning the kicking game at the minute. And although Vic has put a lovely kick in, they are winning that game. And unfortunate with the forward pass here, as we can see at some point, hopefully.
Yeah, Matt Salisbury, just at the start of that clip, he looked for the offload and he was just slightly forward. But it's a game of small margins, and with 3 minutes left, I think Leeds Beckett will be disappointed to give up possession. But again, the set piece would be important. This could be anyone's ball. We've seen plenty of penalties swing both ways for both teams, and with 3 minutes left, you'd think this is a very, very important set piece for both teams.
Yeah, the biggest scrum of the game for sure. If this goes Beckett's way, then we've seen what they can do in attack in the last couple of minutes. If they get that ball out to Sanchez or Devine, then they will definitely win a chance of winning this game. So Cardiff Met really need to be hot on their heels here and make sure that they either win the scrum or they're up off that line in defence.
Alex Terry with a put-in on this scrum.
Yeah, just looks like as well to me that the referee is making sure that the setup of the scrum is done to a T. You've got the pressure there of the crowd, the ultras, so he wants to make sure that this scrum is done correctly, and it is. And the ball's out, and it's a Cardiff Met scrum win.
Vickers Meyer chooses to kick it. Has he put a little bit too much on? Only slightly.
Yeah, surprising there that he decides to tap the ball down. I was thinking maybe that he was just going to, go for it maybe with only, 2.5 minutes on the clock. But instead it looks like they're just going to take the drop out.
The referee puts time off. But the game will restart now. It'll be Josh Sanchez. And he puts plenty of distance on that kick, but Leeds Beckett still within their own half as Vickers Meyer will look to counter-attack. He finds Gus Patterson, who sticks it out wide. Ian Duggan did well there with a carry. And Vickers Meyer now just starting to dictate the tempo as he finds Josh Hart, who drags 3 Leeds Beckett defenders into it. And Vickers Meyer has a go himself and almost finds a gap but just loses his footing. Barnaby Waddell playing scrum half. Alex Terry back in the mix now to dictate his forwards. And he finds Barnaby Waddell now, who has a carry. Met just being patient, knowing that they lead in this game. With only about a minute left of this one, but Leeds Beckett looking to hold up Cardiff Met. Met drive forward, but it's a bit of a mess just outside the 5 metre line.
Yeah, and it's that man.
Beckett. And it is a turnover for Leeds Beckett. It's brilliant defence. And they've chosen to clear their lines. But only as far as Sam Trod, who looked to counter-attack. He looks out wide and he finds Johan Duggan. Johan Duggan back inside to Ollie Smith, the man whose hard work created the last try for Cardiff Met. But he gets all the glory this time. As we see some more of the wrestlers. John Cena there, I could see him and he was celebrating, I'll tell you that, Spence. But Cardiff Met, with seconds left in this game, secure the points here at King Coyd campus. They'll be delighted with that, won't they?
Yeah, you know, a great try from Cardiff Met. Pull from Beckett, really. You know, in the dying stages of a game, I'm a bit confused as to why they're doing what they're doing, but it's capitalised on by Cardiff Met, and the Archer fans are absolutely loving life. But this is the try, as we see Trod gives it out to the left to Johan Duggan, and Duggan with the sensible head of giving it back inside to Ollie Smith. You know, Johan Duggan with his first BUCS Super Rugby start could have quite easily fancied himself there, but he isn't selfish, and he gives it back inside to Ollie Smith, who gets a try, and probably a well-deserved try since coming on as well. You know, he just held his depth there in the right place and in the right time. And Cardiff Met got a 27-17 lead. Now BUCS maybe make it 29-17, and I'm sure every single person at King Coyd is going to be happy, except for the people in purple.
And we saw Barnaby Woodella, he played the 9 for one of the rucks, and I think Ollie Smith has been training with the 9s as well, because that was the support line of a 9 if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, look, we see it more and more now in our game. It's evolving. As a forward, you used to just hit a ruck and then you'd leave it. That's not the case anymore. You know, you have to be everywhere, and Ollie Smith there is very, very, very good at running that support line where he's able to get himself 5 points. So yeah, I think a great try from Cardiff Met, and just a little chat there. You know, I think probably discussing the timing, how long's left, and just telling the 10 to tidy things up maybe. You
can see Alan Williams, one of the coaches of Cardiff Met. He's very happy down there. And I think he'll be hoping to keep Leeds Beckett out now with definitely only seconds remaining in this game. The Met keep it in tight, using their forwards who have been so effective once more for the Archers. Alex Terry puts distance on that kick and finds touch. Oh, and a little bit of afters once more. With only seconds gone, the emotions have finally spilt over here at Rugby 1. It's definitely been coming.
Yeah, look, we don't like to see it in the game, but unfortunately, you know, it does happen sometimes, and this is just probably a showing of Beckett being upset with the way that this game has turned out, because they have turned up tonight, and they've put a lot on the line, but Cardiff Met have just been the better side tonight, and you know, they're probably they're in front of the Archer Ultras, you know, they are going to shy away from a little challenge.
And you like to see a little bit of passion. But I just hope that Hulk Hogan there in the front row doesn't jump over that barrier, because we might be in trouble here, Spence. But no, with only seconds left in this game, you don't really want to see it, and the referee just perhaps letting both teams know that there's no need for it.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen a Rey Mysterio yet, so good job, no, because he might have been on with a 619.
Oh, and a yellow card for 2 men. Tom McLean will leave the field for the mere seconds here left at Rugby 1. And Leeds Beckett also down to 14 men.
Yeah, and probably the correct decision there from the ref. You know, it is the correct decision if you ask me. Both of them playing a part, and both exiting the field in the final moments of play.
Louis Kirkham, the man leaving the field for Leeds Beckett. He's had a good game. He seems to be smiling. He's definitely enjoyed this game, despite the scoreline.
Yeah, I've been impressed with what I've seen from the 7. Probably just let himself down a little bit there, but hey, look, it's a physical rugby game in BUCS Super Rugby.
Be a scrum for Leeds Beckett now in front of the dancing Archers Ultras who have enjoyed what they've seen in this one here, Rugby 1.
Yeah, great turnout as always from the Ultras, but even better when it's dry weather at Kincoid that we don't get very often. You know, they can come out shirtless and in their vests.
Yeah, another wonderful occasion at Cardiff Met. And as you said, brilliant to see the weather dry for once. We haven't had many of those this year on a BUCS Wednesday. And it's been a free-flowing game because of that, hasn't it, Spence?
Yeah, it's lovely. You know, we've seen some lovely running rugby. Unfortunately, you know, we've seen some stoppages like now, but there's been a lot of running rugby and a lot of stuff that's been good to watch. You know, some scrappy play, but I suppose that's always expected. You know, when you're playing some boys who are inexperienced, and then for Beckett, you know, they're probably going to be disappointed going home tonight after losing this game as we come to an end. I think our clock says 80, but I think there is some time left on the clock because there has been some stoppages. But hey, them boys ain't complaining.
No. And there can't be long left in this one now. Yeah, and we can just see Castleton, the Leeds Beckett, just treading off the pitch. He looks like he's had a fairly nasty injury, so I hope he's okay. With only seconds left of this game, and both teams still putting plenty on the line, putting their bodies on the line. And it's been one of those games, it's been a back and forth kind of game, and both teams put a lot into it, and I think in the end Cardiff Met just done enough.
Yeah, I just laughing as Henry Kerwin just exited the scrum. He'd come in on the blind side to act as that 6, but I think he may have not fancied it and got told to get out and defend the blind side instead.
Well, another error from Leeds Beckett, but they'll get the penalty, and I think, and perhaps they'll go for the post to get that losing bonus point, Spence.
Yeah, it's a very good point. You know, I was questioning it myself. You know, with it being 27-17, they get that losing bonus point, and you know, it's probably not going to change where they are in the league. Cardiff Met are going to solidify that 5th position, I think. Definitely 6th, but yeah, Beckett thinking logistically, thinking mathematically, somehow it is possible, but it's looking unlikely that they will finish any higher than 7th.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure this will be the final play in this game. The distance was good and the direction was good. So Leeds Beckett in the final seconds of the game, they secure that losing bonus point. But it's Cardiff Met to secure the bonus point and a win at Rugby 1, and they will be delighted. Spence, they'll be delighted with the performance, they'll be delighted with the win, and those Archers Ultras will also be delighted with the occasion as well.
Yeah, look, it was a huge test tonight for these Cardiff Met boys. They got given an opportunity, they got given a chance with so many changes and so many debutants coming into the squad, and they've done themselves and they've done, you know, Cardiff Met RFC proud tonight. They've shown what Cardiff Met RFC are about, and it's about the collective, it's about the group, and we bang on about it all the time, but it's been proven tonight, and I think everyone at Cardiff Met can be happy and proud of what they've produced tonight. A 27-20 victory over Leeds Beckett. You know, Leeds Beckett with no pushovers, and they never are. You know, it's not only 3 months ago the Cardiff Met went up to Leeds and they lost by 1 point. So they had to win tonight, I think, for that confidence boost, and they've done that. You know, they've got lots of boys as well who are not played tonight that are going to be very fit as they look ahead to their next games. And obviously a massive game on Saturday, probably one of the biggest of the season for them against Rumney in the Championship, where they will look to put that pressure on Bargoed as they want to win that championship and move up.
Yeah, definitely, and we can see how happy those Cardiff Met players are. Some of them making their debuts on the BUCS Super Rugby stage, and they've certainly enjoyed it, and we've enjoyed watching them, and the Archers faithful have as well. And I mentioned to Leeds Beckett as well, they put everything on the line, and I did say it in the first half, it was a ding-dong kind of game, it was back and forth, and I think they came close, but Cardiff Met just about had enough in the end.
Yeah, and I think, as the players walk through the tunnel here, they got to hold their heads high, Leeds Beckett tonight. It's a long old journey, it's never a nice place to come, but Cardiff Met done enough to edge them out and get that bonus point victory where they will now go into 5th in the league.
Yeah, and both teams just showing some respect to each other, knowing that it was a hard-fought contest. So both teams now will be in the next stage of the BUCS Super Rugby calendar. One more game left in the normal round of fixtures. What will they be looking to do now? Are we expecting a lot of rest, or is momentum the key word for them now?
Yeah, look, I think Danny Milton and Ian Gardner have made it quite obvious, that they are giving other boys a chance tonight, and they may continue to do that next week as they go against Loughborough away. But I think it's a massive opportunity for these boys to put their hand up for selection, and I think a few definitely have tonight. I think Gus Patterson, absolutely amazing. He may have put his hand up to start in that number 12 jersey. So I think, and the same for Leeds Beckett. They go up against Exeter next week. So both teams with big opportunities, but well done to both.
Yeah, and we see Cardiff Met go and thank the Ultras over in the corner as they are victorious, 27 points to 20 on Rugby 1. And there's not many greater sights than that of Cardiff Met celebrating with their fans.
Yeah, and a great opportunity for those boys who've made their BUCS Super Rugby debuts to actually enjoy that with a victory. They would have seen that all the time. They would have been, loving the opportunity to go and enjoy that moment with their fans, and they've done it tonight, and they can all be very proud of themselves.
Yeah, definitely, and we saw Danny Milton then, he will definitely be happy with that performance. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, and it's a wonderful swan song at Rugby 1, and it was the final home fixture of the BUCS Super Rugby calendar. Well, myself and Spence have enjoyed it, Dom and Charlie have enjoyed it as well, but Matt now is joined by a man who's enjoyed it more than anyone else, Danny Milton. Matt?
Well, there we have it. That's your first experience of rugby, Charlie, and one man who certainly enjoyed it, as the boys said in commentary, thanks for that one, is Danny Milton. Danny, welcome along. 27-20, there's a win for you on the board again. How do you sum up the game?
We're really pleased. We sat down at the end of probably a disappointing couple of weeks with Exeter and Hartbury, and we looked at the group and what we wanted to get out of the next 2 weeks. We got some really important Saturday games as well. Really wanted to drive a bit of hunger and a bit of ambition in the group, building to the quarterfinals. So 9 first years in that side tonight, 9 freshers, and for them to go out and perform the way we did, we're really, really proud. Bit of competition now for everybody, so it's exciting times.
And you mentioned it as well, a lot of fresh faces on the pitch tonight for your team. What were your thoughts on how they performed, and moving ahead, what do you think they've showed about their character?
Well, like you said, what we want to do is really drive a bit of enthusiasm, a bit of hunger, that work rate, that energy, and I think you've certainly seen that in bucket loads today. And to see some of the performances from those guys with their first starts was just fantastic to see, and certainly is exciting, not just for this year, but for next year and beyond. So really important for us as a group.
Yeah, was there any specific reason behind the selection? Was it to prove a message or send a message? Was it to stay ready for the champ, or just rotation at this time in the season?
No, it wasn't rotation. It was something that we discussed straight away on Wednesday night last week, and sort of the plan started to formulate, and head coach Ian Gardner's got a lot of credit to take behind it, really sort of started to think around what we wanted to do. The Welsh Championship's a big goal for us. We want to, over the next 2 weekends, we can secure promotion, put a bit of pressure on Bargoed to hopefully win that league, possibly. but then also for here now to give boys a little bit of experience going into the quarterfinals and making everybody have to work hard, earn their spot for that quarterfinal, and put ourselves in the best place to go away and win that quarterfinal.
Just talking about the Ultras as well and how this is your last Wednesday on your home pitch. Talk about their impact, what they bring every single Wednesday, also Saturday as well, but Wednesday specifically for your team.
I wasn't sure whether to watch the game or the WWE wrestling tonight, which was certainly brought a bit of laughter and a bit of humour. And, you know, week in, week out, the energy, everything they bring. The crowd tonight I thought was fantastic, and it makes a huge difference, I know, certainly for us as a group, but I'm sure the players must love playing in front of that.
Yeah, definitely. And last question, just looking ahead, one more game in the league and then we're into the playoffs. What are your thoughts and what's the plan moving forward?
Well, exciting game now, isn't it? We've got a big game Saturday. Then we'll have to sit down as a group of coaches and decide what we're going to do about selection for the next 2 games. And then we'll build to that quarter-final. And I suppose that's the exciting thing for us at the moment, is what we wanted to do is really drive some genuine competition, some enthusiasm, some hunger in the group, and people are going to have to earn that quarter-final spot. So 3 big games for us, 2 on a Saturday, 1 next week against Wednesday, and let's see where we end up then.
Superb. Well done. It's absolutely freezing, so I'll let you get on. Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much.
Top man. So, as we see on screen here, we're just a few highlights of the game, Charlie. Obviously, we can't actually see the video now in studio, but just talk us through your experience of the game and what you thought from A to Z.
Well, being a new perspective on the game of rugby, obviously don't understand necessarily the specific tactics. What I can understand is sheer athleticism, physicality, and the speed was absolutely phenomenal tonight. Obviously, it was huge in the win for Cardiff Met. But at the end of the day, it's all about the athleticism, the strength, the physicality, and they were the better and more physical team tonight.
Yeah, certainly. Anything that took you a bit by surprise? I know we went over this at half-time, but perhaps throughout the game, and it was back and forward towards the second half.
Yeah, it really was. It was a very competitive game, something that I was hoping for as well, being my first rugby match of my kind of young career, I guess, if you say. But I think something that did take me by surprise was the pace of play, really. Comparing it to American football back home, you have so many stops and goes, right, when it comes to their pace of play. But here, it's kind of a free-flowing game, something that I really appreciated, and a reason why I'm going to continue to watch this game moving forward in my life.
Oh, superb. I'd love to hear it. And you also had a little go in the Ultras throughout the game. You were around there, in with the crowd. How was that?
Yeah, it was fantastic. As I mentioned on the main broadcast as well, up in the comms booth, is that if you missed WWE on Monday, you got a full front and center look here on Wednesday as well in the Ultras booth. It was fun to see. I love the camaraderie and also the energy that student section, if you will, brings every Wednesday.
Superb. And now back in studio, here we have 2 of the Archer stars of the victory, including Captain Ewan Guy. Gents, how was that one out there? Last home game so far this season.
Yeah, look, it's not only my last home game of the season, it's probably my last home game for Matt, so it was really special to be able to come out with the boys and get a win in the end. I was really happy to finish off probably my last game here with a win.
Yeah, I mean, to start my BSR debut with a win at home, last game of the season, I can't ask for anything more, to be honest. The boys were phenomenal today.
Yeah, you mentioned your debut there for yourself. What was it like to finally be out there and in front of the Ultras as well?
So nervous to begin with, so nervous. You come walking down the tunnel, you hear them all shouting, you can't help but feel the nerves, but as soon as the ball kicks off, you're right in the mindset and ready to do your job.
Yeah, really quick, just talking about what you thought as a team tonight, your overall performance. Seems like you pulled away there starting in the second half, got a little bit closer, but still able to finish off in the win.
Yeah, we had a sort of a clear game plan going into this. They're a big set-piece team, big bunch of forwards, so if we can nullify their scrum and their line-out maul, then we knew we'd be right up in there. Scrum, it was a full 8 effort. The props did really well to hold them off for that long, and we held them all really well. So we just managed to keep them on the pitch, keep their legs moving, and we backed our fitness, and that was what we thought that got us the edge in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You could see it come through in the end there. And Henry, scoring a try on your debut, got to be good.
I mean, it's an amazing feeling. You saw me celebrate. You saw all the boys come over. It's a feeling you can't replicate. It's something you dream of when you start in Met.
Really quick follow-up, if I could. What were you thinking on that play? Obviously, you got it in the right corner, but take me through it if you could.
I mean, not much went through my head, if I'm honest. It was kind of get the ball. There was a bit of space on the outside, and I thought, you know what? Don't drop it. It's one of my first carries of the game. Let's just go for it. And luckily enough, sidestep out wide, small fend, and got in the corner.
Yeah, and what a try it was. Superb work. As we mentioned, a lot about the Ultras there. A lot of WWE going on in the crowd. Your first experience playing in front of them yourselves. How good was that for you, just seeing all your friends? Obviously, I'm sure you know a lot of the boys in the crowd as well.
It's surreal. Honestly, you hear them all chanting the entire time. it's deafening half the time. We miss calls. I can't hear the fullback because they're so loud, and it's an atmosphere like I haven't had before.
Yeah, and probably your last ever home game here. The thunderclap at the end, leading the team to it. Was that a special one?
Yeah, no, it's always good. Like you could tell there was a buzz about them today. They're here every week, but this week they were up for it. You could just feel it. So the one at the end, you just sort of run in and try find a body to grab onto and jump up and down a bit. So it's a good feeling and one I ain't gonna forget.
Yeah, and then moving forward now, we look to the playoffs. Haven't quite got the home quarterfinal that we were looking for, but what is next? What's the plan from you yourself as the skipper?
Well, I don't know. So we're probably going to finish 5th or 6th, which probably means Loughborough or Durham, I think. Either one. We'll take either one. We went up to Durham and won there, and we've had a few good goes at Loughborough already this season, so we're confident, and everyone's getting game time. Team out today, got a team out on Saturday. Everyone's getting game time, everyone's fighting for position, and that's only a good thing. So we'll be ready for whatever it is.
And being one of the many debutants on this pitch today, how can you sum up the effort from a lot of the fresh faces, the new guys that made an appearance in tonight's match?
I think everyone just wore the badge. They played for the badge. We spoke about that in the change rooms beforehand. We're all one family, and I think everyone bought into that. All the debutants all bought into it and fired in as soon as they either started or came on the pitch.
Yeah, and this is obviously great to have you on, guys. One final question just before you go. Everyone at Cardiff Met wants to know, can the Archers win BUCS this year?
100%. We're a playoff team, so we'll see. Don't want to curse it, but no, 100%.
Superb. Gents, thanks so much. Congratulations once again. Good luck in your next match.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, there we have it. Yep. The last home game of the season for the Archers men so far. Charlie, your final thoughts from today?
What an experience. So happy to be a part of it. Thank you to the entire Cardiff Met crew for letting us Americans come and intrude on your space and kind of your sacred ground right here at Cardiff Met. And it was a fantastic ride. The student section, the ultras as you call them, was something that we're going to take back to America and have to push towards our little student section as well back at Ball State University. So thank you for the tips. No, the sport of rugby has certainly started to grow on me and something that's going to stay with me. And this was a great example. Always love to see Cardiff Met, the home team, get the win. And love to see the Ultras get to go crazy with the thunderclap as well.
Yeah, you're going to take some of the Archers fan style with you. You're going to take some of the broadcasting with you. Going to give it a go at all, rugby?
I tried it just the other day. Didn't go so well. Please don't judge me when you see this next video.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. Let's take a look.
Hi and welcome to another episode of After Attempt.
And as we all know, rugby and football are the two biggest sports here at Kincoid. So we're delighted to be joined by two members of Ball State University all the way from Indiana. We're going to show them how it's done. Let's go.
This is for Ball State. Go Cardinals.
Phone's out of the pocket.
Oh!
Oh! Oh! Ooh! Feel good about that. That was pretty good. Heart rate 103. Oh! Got the height, but not the accuracy.
Oh. First time. 1-0. 1-0 Archers.
Oh! Let's go!
Sport isn't that hard. I'm sorry. Zoom in on that brow. The bangs are covering it, yes.
Well, nice.
The fringe.
We'll treat you nice.
But again, good. No good. Oh, no.
How many of you had jump? Oh, let's go!
USA! Oh, no. That's 2 out of 3?
US slay. Ooh! Tackle. Ooh! Tackle her. Ooh! Right down. Ah! Oh no! Playing is ours now. Rugby's our sport. Team America, we're always gonna win. Oh, now we apologise because as things stand.
It's currently 1-0 to the Americans.
Look at them smug over there. God. It's hard.
John, no.
Oh, yes! Oh my God! Yes! Come on! The side throw around.
Oh! So good the road came out.
Oh! Good try, good try.
That
Good
wasn't great.
Good try, good try.
had more power.
Oh!
All right. Okay.
Miss it, miss it, miss it.
Yeah!
We'll give you this hat instead.
Thank
Congratulations
you. Thanks.
on your sudden death win.
Diolch yn fawr.